Welcome to Troy, Alabama, and week 13 of the college football season. Only 2 weeks left of the regular season, and today it's senior day here at Troy for the Trojans, who have a chance to be playing 2 weeks from today in the Sun Belt Conference Championship game against JMU. You are watching Sun Belt Conference football on ESPN. We are at Veterans Memorial Stadium on Military Appreciation Day. Seems fitting, doesn't it? Will Georgia State put Troy on upset alert today? It's been a tough year for the Panthers. The host Trojans trying to find that magic where they rattled off 5 straight earlier this season. Hello, everyone. Alongside Ben Stanfield, I'm Will Kohlmeyer. Delighted to have you on board with us here today. We'll introduce you to the third member of our team, Rosie Langelo, in just a moment. Let's talk about that winning streak, Ben. They've won 5 in a row. They've lost the last 2. What do the Trojans have to do today to get back on track?
Play great up front. Offensive line plays the key for this team. When they play well, Troy wins. When they don't, well, Troy doesn't win. That's been the facts all year long, Will.
Let's talk quarterbacks. And injuries have been a problem for both these teams. First of all, for Georgia State, it's going to be Cameron Brown that gets the start under center.
Yeah, dual threat quarterback. He's got 13 passing touchdowns on the year, 4 rushing touchdowns. He's had some split duty, but he gets the ball today. Then behind him, Christian Bayer in 2024 threw for more than 2,000 pass yards. He hasn't seen a lot of action this year, but he's fully capable and ready if he needs to get the call this afternoon.
As for Troy, Tucker Kilcrease has started the last 7 games. Goose Crowder started the first 3, and he'll get the start today because Kilcrease is dinged up.
Yeah, Goose got hurt against Memphis earlier in the year. He came back last week against Old Dominion. Tough outing. That was a tough outing for everybody. He's got to find that rhythm again today, though, and it's all about getting him comfortable. Comes back to O-line play. Early short passes and running the football are going to be the key for Goose today.
Let's send it downstairs to Rosie Langelo. This is a big game for Troy.
Yeah, and it's a clear path to the Sun Belt Championship for Troy, and it's pretty simple. Win against Georgia State today and then win on the road at Southern Miss next week, and you are back in the title game. Last time we saw Troy in that title game was back in 2023 when they won it here at the Vet. Now, we asked Jared Parker about the significance of these next 2 games, and he said he's not worried about what could happen in the next 2. He's worried about today. He wants to see more production on the field, especially from his offense today, and he wants to see some resilience from his guys after losing those back-to-back games, guys.
As for today's weather, 80 degrees, are you kidding me? Very low precipitation when it comes to percentage. 80 degrees, and we got Thanksgiving coming up in a few days.
Welcome to South Alabama in late November. It's just kind of gross outside today here in what I call changeover season. Will, Troy won the toss and went with a little bit of a different strategy today, elected to receive the football to start the game off this afternoon.
All right, well, we'll see what will transpire here this afternoon. Big game for Troy. We've documented it. The path is clear, and Troy will get the football first. Sit back and relax, folks. You've got Sun Belt football on a Saturday afternoon here in Troy, Alabama. DJ Epps will be back deep along with Peyton Higgins. And kicking off is Braden McAllister, and away we go. It's a touchback, and so we'll see Goose Crowder coming out and starting. As you mentioned, he got injured against Memphis for the 2nd straight year and had surgery on his shoulder, but he's back, and you know he wants to get things going here today, and especially early. That's what Coach Parker was telling us yesterday. He wants a quick start.
Yeah, you got to keep him protected and take it easy on the playbook to start things off, but we'll see if that's what they go with here.
Tay Meadows gets the start at tailback. The play action, and they'll flip it out to Meadows. And Meadows gets the first down. Very well done, as Crowder completed 52% of his passes last week for 98 yards. He did have a pick. That was Josiah Robinson with the tackle. And look at Troy going tempo. Coach Parker was telling us yesterday to look for that tempo, and this is Meadows up the middle for 2. And he was stopped again by Robinson.
Well, their goal is to get this Georgia State defense gassed as early as possible in this game. try to do it with some tempo, limited substitutions. There was that short pass a moment ago out to Tay Meadows that was a great play to start things off for this team today. Impact players for Troy up front starts on that line, Matt Henry. Then Ethan Connor is also a part of that too. He's going to be impactful in the passing game, but also in that run block as well. And then on defense, Jordan Huff at safety spot, and then linebacker Josiah Robinson for this Georgia State defense.
Yeah, Robinson already with a couple tackles. Lovett in for the first play for Troy. He gets the pass from Crowder up near the 45. They're going to mark it at the 44. That's Walker and Maxey in on that tackle.
And Robinson, he's that inside linebacker. He's got 76 tackles on the year coming into the game. He's already added, 2 to that
yes.
already today. So he's everywhere for this defense. And then, like I mentioned with Jordan Huff, he's got an interception on the season, looking for another one today as well.
Tay Meadows back in the backfield to the right of Crowder. 3rd down and 2. Sean Reagan, the OC, likes these scenarios. 3rd and short, and the pass is complete. This time it's to DJ Epps, his 27th catch of the season that leads the team.
One thing I'm noticing early with the strategy today with Goose is they've got him taking snaps and immediately rolling out of the pocket. The pocket hasn't been well protected for Troy. I don't think that's any sort of hidden secret here. It's been uncomfortable at times to talk about, but it is what it is. They recognize that, got him moving early in the process, and he's had some wide open throws here early in this ball game as a result.
Yeah, Crowder, perfect so far through the air. That pocket collapses, and another sack. Old Dominion had 9 of them last Thursday night. And it's back at the 44-yard line. That was Floyoina with that sack.
And they brought the pressure, Georgia State did, from way outside on that play. And that's what Troy's trying to avoid. And with these earlier plays, like I mentioned, with timing was impeccable there. Goose on the move early in these plays has helped to prevent that. I think they'll try to get him out of the pocket quite a bit the rest of the day.
2nd and long after that sack of 5-yard loss. Near side, that's Epps spinning his way up to near midfield. They'll mark it at the 49. That was Henry Bryant III on that stop. He is the transfer from Louisville.
What you haven't seen yet from Troy is running the football, and that I think is a promising statistic here early on with the way that they've looked so comfortable, minus the sack play here, throwing the football in this game early. A lot of short passes, and again, getting their rhythm and strategy together, and off to a great start so far.
3rd and long. That's Epps in motion. Let's see where Crowder will go. Has time, got a man, caught on that far side. That was Epps. Check that, that was Trey Taylor on the reception.
Well, let me tell you who had maybe the play of that, or the signature piece of that play. That was Jordan Lovett in pass protection back there beside the quarterback.
And here's the run up the middle to the 30-yard line. A solid pickup on 1st down. That was Kedrick Walker on the tackle.
I believe that's first rushing play of the game for Troy this afternoon too.
And we're going to talk about this offensive line. Coach Parker has switched it around. There's some major changes on the offensive line, people switching positions. He's just trying to find a chance to get the guys out there, the best 5 that can get some lanes for these runs. And Crowder, the give, down to the 29-yard line. 2 more yards for Lovett. He had 6 carries, 13 yards a week ago. Bryant and Lewis in on that tackle.
Well, I love it. I mean, just a moment ago, that block that he was able to set up on the long pass play was about as beautifully done as he could have done it.
Meadows is to the left of Crowder. 3rd down. They got to get to the 24-yard line. Meadows now shifting back and forth. He looks like he's going to set on the right side. Crowder was looking for him. He was not open, and the pass across the middle incomplete. That was nice coverage there by DeIcy Hopkins, one of the safeties. And it's 4th down.
Yeah, Georgia State playing a little bit of a crunch defense there. They had that play read very well. And again, getting pressure in the backfield is the key here. If the more pressure they can bring early on these plays, the better, and it's going to put Troy in some interesting situations like this one here on 4th down.
4th down, 9 of 18. That leads the Sun Belt. Let's see what the Trojans have up their sleeves here, going for it on 4th and 5 at the 29. Crowder across the middle. It is caught. Nope, then dropped. And it'll be a turnover on downs. That was Hopkins making the play defensively. And we will take a timeout. It'll be Georgia State football when we come back. Troy, a nice drive on the opening drive of the game. No points. They turn it over on downs. Georgia State getting the football for the first time. Cameron Brown will get the start at quarterback. He can cause some headaches with his legs. You saw TJ Finley. He started the quarterback for most of the first part of the season. Rosie's got more in this quarterback situation.
For warm-up, so I went up to head coach Del McGee and to ask him where TJ Finley was, and he did not travel with the team.
All right, thank you so much, Rosie Langello. We'll be looking forward to her reports all afternoon long. So here is Cameron Brown. He can cause some problems for defenses. 17 touchdowns, 4 of those rushing. And it's Simmons. Jordan Simmons will start at running back to his left. And Simmons gets the give on first down across the 30 up to the 33-yard line, a pickup of 4. That's stopped by Lewis Medina and Stephen Catledge, a couple seniors that were honored earlier.
Yeah, they'll try to run the ball a lot with Jordan Simmons today. Watch number 1, Ted Hurst, the wide receiver. We'll talk more about him in a moment, but they'll try to get him involved in this run game too. Pretty versatile on this Georgia State offense. We got to see how things play out with the quarterback position, though.
Again, on the ground and across the 35 up to the 37-yard line. And that was Elijah Davis making the stop for Troy. A couple solid pickups by Simmons, and it's 3rd and short.
And I actually think that with Cam Brown playing in the quarterback position today, he adds an element that TJ Finley does not. Finley's a pocket guy. He's not mobile, but Cam Brown is. He can beat you with his legs and with his arm. We'll see what he's got. He's got an empty backfield right now. Well, not anymore, but it'll be interesting to see which direction the game goes for him today.
Yeah, Simmons in motion back to the backfield, and that pass was incomplete. He was looking for Javon Robinson, the second leading receiver on the team, and that was way behind him.
Kudos to this Troy defense. They go 1, 2, 3 and get off the field. Offense is going to get the football back. For Troy, you got to have points coming up on this drive here, especially after a promising drive to start the football game. It came up with 0 inside the 40-yard line.
Reed Chanley is in punt formation. That's Trey Taylor awaiting the punt. Chanley averaged 48.5 yards a punt last week, and he uncoiled on that one, and Trey Taylor slipped. I think the knee hit the ground, and then he got hit as well, and Taylor slowly getting up, and so it will be a tough scenario for Troy's offense and Goose Crowder. When we come back, they'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 4-yard line. Memorial Stadium, no score, 8:05 left in the first quarter. And that punt return scenario did not work out well for the Trojans, as Goose Crowder, that was one of the keys that Coach Parker was telling all of us yesterday, is that for Goose last week, he had to start adjust to the speed of the game. He's confident, and he had a good week of practice, but that speed is totally different on that field.
Yeah, you've been out for a little while. It takes a minute to get back in and get used to it, which is why I like so much of what they did on the first drive with some of these short passes, rolling him out of the pocket a little bit. Did play with some tempo. We'll see if they do that again on this drive.
That's Meadows. Bounced off of one would-be tackler, and he has a first down up to the 17. Jalen Jones, the star position, made the tackle.
Well, and there's Tay Meadows. I love seeing them run the ball in this situation, too. Finds a hole, and let me tell you, this guy's a grinder. He, of course, came up behind Kamani Vidal and guys like that, and learned how to run the football behind some of these big names that have been through here. And another great run for Tay Meadows. He's off to a nice start today.
The play action to Meadows, and a flip to the near side, a catch, knocked out of bounds.
That was Trey Taylor that caught that ball. And I saw where you got a little bit of a switch up there, and Trey Taylor on the cross route, but wide open on that short pass. They treat this as an extension of the run game, try to get this out to these guys in flats. And another great pass, another comfortable pass for the quarterback.
Another comfortable pass, if you will, near side, DJ Epps. He only had one catch last week. He's already got a couple here today. Robinson and Butler in on that tackle for the Panthers.
Well, and I think the stat sheet from a week ago, I don't know that a lot of folks really want to talk about it, but
yeah,
it was just one of those games, an outlier, if you will, for this team. They just didn't quite have it together. But part of that short pass effort, like we mentioned here, the flats, you got to be able to turn the corner. Weren't able to do that on that last play.
So 3rd down. And 3 to go for Troy. Troy this year on 3rd downs, 54, check that, 39%. And Crowder. And the Trojans will have to punt it.
The problem that he encountered there, he's a right-handed guy. He's rolling out to the left side, so he's trying to turn and get that right arm back. Watch him one more time here. Trying to set up for that pass, and you got to commit one way or the other. You're either going to throw the football or you're going to run the football. And he was trying to do both at the same time and wound up losing a yard there on 4th down, or bringing up a 4th down.
Rhodes Nelson made that tackle, and here is Evan Crenshaw. What a year he is having. And of course, as soon as I say that, that might have been one of his worst punts of the season, but he has been a weapon for the Trojans. Great field position for the Panthers from Georgia State when we come back. I always like this touch, a POW chair.
Yeah, they always have a seat at the stadium to be recognized here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and a permanent chair of honor, and that's a nice touch here.
I was talking to one of the former military members that he worked in the Vietnam War under a lieutenant who is now the president here at Troy. He was
Dr. Hawkins,
yes, yeah. And he talked about him being his lieutenant. We had a nice chat beforehand when I got to the stadium today. Jordan Simmons is in the backfield with Brown, and Brown across the middle. That first pass was behind his receiver. That one was right on target to Grant Hollier, a true freshman.
Yeah, offensive coordinator Hugh Jackson trying to dial up the play action here, and he's got his man right in the middle of the field, wide open for a big dagger pass play to start the thing off with the tight end.
He had a touchdown reception last week, caught 6 passes for 51 yards. He's become a weapon at that tight end position for that Georgia State offense. This is Simmons out of Marietta, Georgia. He had 164 yards on 19 carries last week and had a touchdown. That was almost 9 yards a pop. That's Jordan Stringer, who was in the tent, the injury tent, earlier after the first series, but he's obviously back out now, and he was in on that tackle along with Poe.
Yeah, the fact that they'll give him the ball 19 times tells you all you need to know right there. There's a lot of confidence in his abilities. They also threw the ball to him 6 times last week as well. He's a cat that can do a lot of things on the football field. He's one of our guys to watch today as well.
Yeah, definitely an impact player for Georgia State.
Number 54, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
That was Trennis Livingston. He's our referee this afternoon. So that pushes Georgia State back a little bit. Now 2nd and 7 for the Panthers. Yeah, you talked about Simmons with 6 catches last week. That was for 64 yards. He's got 23 catches on the year and a touchdown. This time it's Cam Brown running, breaking a tackle. He's down to the 15-yard line. Stephen Catledge and Daniel Cisvana on the tackle.
Well, and with the success they had there running the football, Cam Brown, you may see a lot more of that coming up as well. This might turn into the Cam Brown, Jordan Simmons show. One thing we haven't seen that's a credit to Troy secondary so far, Ted Hurst has been non-existent in this ball game so far today.
We'll tell you what Dante Wright, the defensive coordinator, told us yesterday after this play. There's Simmons up the middle, tripped up, otherwise he would have scored a touchdown. He was tripped up by Poe. And yes, Ted Hurst, we were talking to Dante Wright, the defensive coordinator. Hurst is obviously a key. He said, yeah, on my wall it says know where number 1 is. And he told his team, especially the secondary, all week long. They haven't needed Hurst yet. That's Simmons down to the 5-yard line, tackled by Devin Lafayette.
Well, and some of you old Troy heads will get this reference too. Hurst reminds me a lot of T.Y. Hilton when he was down at Florida International when they were in the Sun Belt. FIU wasn't a problem a lot of times for Troy, but when T.Y. Hilton was there, boy, he was. A quick receiver who could do a lot and went on to have a nice NFL career. Ted Hurst, I think, could do the same as well. He's nice size, 6'3", 195, but just we haven't seen much out of him today so far in this game.
Over 120 targets this season, and the next nearest one had 60. Here's Brown, and he has stood up behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a tackle for a loss. Stephen Catledge along with Jordan Stringer, a couple of those seniors, and Elijah Davis was there as well.
Well, and one of the things that you may see here with this defense too, they actually may be playing better inside the 10-yard line because they've had lockdown coverage in the secondary. They're actually able to play up a little bit and bring more pressure on that running game that's been pretty successful last couple of plays for this Georgia State offense.
So no field goal attempt. They will go for it on 4th down. Rickman, the field goal kicker, 2 for 4 on the season. One of those kicks was blocked. His long is 31. That was against the rivals Georgia Southern. We got Braswell, DJ Braswell in the running back position. So a timeout by Georgia State with a $1:45 left here in the first quarter.
Let me tell you, I like the gamble here too of going for it if they do indeed go through with it. You know, for Georgia State, essentially, this is a pride effort at this point on in the season. They're 1-9 on the year, and you know, having a rough go. They got some talent on this team though, and Ted Hurst, who we haven't seen today, is part of that. 64 receptions, 928 yards on the year. He's got a chance to get over 1,000 yards today if we see him in the mix at some point. But this team's dangerous, though. And let me tell you, who would you say is the cream of the crop in the Sun Belt right now?
JMU.
Yeah, nobody has played them better than Georgia State, ironically enough.
That was a touchdown game, wasn't it?
Yeah, 14-7 was the final in that game. So they're capable. They just haven't put it together a lot of times this year. And boy, no game speaks to their resume better than that one, though.
On 4th down this year, you can see Georgia State 11th in the Sun Belt. It's not the greatest percentage, but Coach McGee and company going for it. Brown got hit, but he throws it to the far side. He was looking for Ted Hurst. It is incomplete. Terrific coverage there by Levine. Kalino Levine. He is another one of those seniors for Troy.
Yeah, great job by Kalino. And here's another look at that, too. Just great defense. They had everything covered, all the bases covered. It was a nice throw. A little long. Defense proud to get out of here and contain the shutout effort. The problem now for Troy is you got to go 93 yards.
Yeah, last drive started at the 4. This time Goose Crowder gets it at the 7. One of the keys today, ball security for Troy. Boy, Jared Parker talked about that in length, and that one was batted, and that pass incomplete. Nice job defensively by the true freshman Keelan Butler that knocked that one down.
Yeah, Butler was in the exact right place on that play. And Georgia State, one thing that they did too, and Dale McGee, notable for this, shifting these D linemen around. They all went to the right side and brought the pressure from that direction on that play. I guess maybe hoping that Goose was going to roll out to his left and run right into him.
Here's Crowder in the end zone, looking for a big chunk, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Peyton Higgins, who wants to be a coach one day, just like his dad.
Yeah, he had the space. The pocket was there. Just a little high on the throw. Unable to pull it down for P-Hig, as they refer to him on the team.
The ultimate teammate is what Jared Parker was telling us. It's been awesome to coach him. So, 3rd down and 10 at the 7. Pocket has been clean. The pass intended for Connor. It was a tad behind him, but if you talk to Ethan Connor, he said he'll probably tell you that he should have had that one.
Yeah, got both hands on it, not able to pull it in. So Troy's going to punt this thing away, and at some point you think if Troy gets pretty good field position, they might can put some points on the board, but being backed up inside your own 10, last 2 possessions, though, well, it's a tough bell to answer.
Crenshaw sends one down to the near side. It takes one hop and returned by Javon Robinson, but he was swallowed. Good coverage there by the Trojans. All right, Tucker Kilcrease, we talked about him starting the last 7 games, and when he started, look at that record. When he hasn't started, not so much.
His versatility is what really helps his football team, and the guy's a warrior too. He's tough. I like the way he runs the football. He's gotten hit a lot this year, which I think has been problematic in some instances, but I mean, he's a great football player, and came out of Brantley High School just down the road, so he's a guy from right here, almost a hometowner basically, and just a great football player.
Coach Parker was telling us that Tuck has been a warrior and could run in that stretch. That was one of the keys, he said, in that 5-game winning streak. A healthy Tucker Kilcrease, but he has been hit. And out of the lineup here today, that was Donnie Smith along with Joe Lott making that tackle on Brown.
Well, and one of the things, too, is with his running ability, if you got a quarterback that can run, it's essentially a 12th man on the football field.
Under a minute left here in the scoreless first quarter. A little dump pass to Simmons. He breaks the tackle. He's down the near sidelines and finally knocked out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. A solid pickup. Levine made the tackle, but Georgia State is in business.
Troy had great pressure here, and you saw that come in from Luis Medina. But on the outside, Luke Hodge got beat on the tackle, and that turned into huge yardage on that play for Georgia State. So some things went well, some things didn't go well. One thing that the defense, I think, would say did go well is they got a nice hit on Cameron Brown, something he'll be thinking about at least down the stretch of the ball game.
Looks like they marked him out of bounds back at the 38-yard line, so it was not nearly the gain that we thought it was.
That's a big break for Troy's defense, too.
And Georgia State burns its second timeout here in the first half with 11 ticks left in the first quarter. Now, you talked about it earlier, this Georgia State record, Ben, and it has been a tough year. In his second year for Dell McGee, worst record through 10 games since the 2014 season, but you gotta feel for McGee. He came on, this is his second year, the Columbus, Georgia native, but he got this gig late February of 2024, so spring ball was already underway, so he had his back against the wall right from the get-go. He's a former National Recruiter of the Year by Rivals.com when he was at Georgia, back with that one of those #1 recruiting classes.
Oh, yeah, all kind of kids coming out of Columbus, Georgia, locked down and headed to that Georgia program while he was there, and he's a great football coach. I don't know that he's gotten the talent that he'd like to have yet at Georgia State, but Dale's going to turn this thing around. He's a great football coach, and he came from a great staff at Georgia, too, with Kirby Smart.
There's a pass to the near side to DJ Riles. Just his 12th catch of the season. He does have a touchdown. That was Julian Peterson in on that tackle. And that will end the first quarter. Each team has had plenty of drives, but still no one has cracked the code. We got the next 15 minutes straight ahead on a Saturday afternoon here in Troy. Back here in Troy, we're getting ready to start the second quarter. We'll be sending it down to Rosie right after this play as Georgia State has it at the 31-yard line. And the give up the middle to Robinson, breaks a couple tackles, still on his feet, and he's down near the 20-yard line. Let's send it downstairs to Rosie. You've got a certain vibe you're picking up on that Troy sideline. Yeah, despite no points in the first quarter for Troy, the vibe was pretty high on the sideline. People were just high-fiving each other, patting each other on the back. No frustration down here, it looks like. Lott and Cisvana in on that tackle. Appreciate that update, Rosie. Again, it's Robinson. You've got Will Kohlmeyer, Ben Stanfield, Rosie Langello, and the rest of our crew. Glad to have you on board with us on a Saturday afternoon. Final home game of the year for Troy. And that is Jamal Williams making the tackle, as was Jaquez White. But Georgia State inside the red zone.
Well, and you wonder, too, can Troy force a fourth down scenario again? What will Georgia State do? Will they go for it again on fourth down, try and put a touchdown on the board here in this second quarter, or maybe take the points on a kick? Troy's done a nice job of locking down the running game the last couple of plays here on this drive.
89 yards of total offense for Georgia State so far. This pass near side, and it is incomplete, as Brown was looking for Javon Robinson, the transfer from Grambling. Came in with 48 catches, almost 440 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Now, it was difficult for me to tell if this was a screen pass or if the offensive line just got obliterated here, and that'll happen from time to time. But that Troy defensive line, and we talked with the defensive coordinator Dante Wright about them a lot, they're pretty hungry. They were able to get through there very quickly, like us jumping on Thanksgiving this coming Thursday.
All right, third down. Brown has time to the end zone near side, and it's incomplete.
The fact that he was able to get hands on that football, I think, was impressive enough. Jalen Marshall there from Hamilton, Georgia. Troy, again, getting some pressure in the backfield on the quarterback. He almost was able to haul in that football, and they are indeed going to kick.
So it'll be a 34-yard attempt by Rickman, Leo Rickman. 31 is his long this year. He now can say his long is 34 yards, as someone has finally cracked the code, and Georgia State scores first. We got the kickoff coming up. 3-0 in favor of the Panthers here on a Saturday afternoon here in Troy. news out west for Scott Cross and his Troy Trojans. The other night, knocked off San Diego State in double overtime, highest ranked team ever beaten. And then 2 nights later, they took Southern Cal into triple overtime, lost by a point against an undefeated Trojan squad.
Ugh.
They had 4 games out in California, lost to Loyola Marymount and I think Cal State Northridge, but that was a heck of a win by San Diego State, and it's going to look good later this year.
They played 4 teams that you could all see in March, and Troy's a team that liable to see in March as well. And boy, that USC game, the end of that trip, with the way that that ended, just a brutal ending to that basketball game. It was a great basketball game. 5 overtime periods in 2 games, so that's
in 48 hours, and it's not like Scott Cross has a very deep bench either.
No,
so they logged some serious minutes.
That's a lot of ball that was played out west. Got their money's worth on the trip.
Yep, that kick by McAllister, another touchback. And so Troy will take over for the first time trailing. That was an 8-play, 33-yard drive that took 2 minutes and 43 seconds. And that field goal by Rickman makes it 3-0. And Caleb Ashnow is in the lineup. A lot of different changes on that offensive line. You see what Troy's done this year total offense-wise. And the pass to the near side looking for Connor. And it actually hit the back of Hopkins, the Icy Hopkins, one of the safeties. I guess he'll get credit for a pass breakup, right?
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, the thing that Troy's looking for on this drive, rhythm and points. Rhythm and points. Rhythm and points.
Sean Reagan wants to see more consistency. That's right. And here's Crowder, far side, caught across the 30 up to the 31-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and manageable. Jalen Jones made the stop. You see Ra Thomas split way out to the top of your screen.
Defense, number 18, with contact. 5-yard penalty, resulting in the first down.
So 18 out on the wide side of the field.
That's one of the corners.
I guess jumped and touched the receiver there in front of him.
Yeah, that's Jine. Chom's Jine. Wow.
The only guy on the field that moved. I'm going to give him a break there because his son was right in his eyes.
There you go.
Right in that one vantage point of the stadium.
The fake to Lovett, pass near side to Higgins. It's caught, and he takes it up to the 42-yard line. They're actually going to mark it at the 44-yard line. He was stopped by Hopkins.
I hope Goose Crowder's mom wasn't watching because he took a shot there, a brutal shot. He got back up pretty quick, which is promising, but that's the last thing that Troy wants to see happen to their quarterback today, is take hits like that.
Well, that was a key, and that's why there's been so much shifting on the offensive line. I think we can go down to Rosie in a bit. She has more on that offensive line for Troy. 2nd down, though, after that nice pickup by Higgins. And here's the give to Lovett, and he takes it across the 45. He's very close to a first down. Let's go back to this hit you were talking about by Goose Crowder that he took.
Yeah, it's hard to watch. Really. You talk about a kid that's already had surgery this year, gotten hurt the last 2 years in a row. You see him get hit like that. I mean, just
hammered.
You don't want to see that happen to any kid on any team. That's just a tough hit that he took there. Credit to him for he bounced back up and looks like he's not fazed by it, but that was quite a shot, though, just a moment ago.
Meadows back in the backfield, and he'll get the give from Crowder, and Meadows into Georgia State territory, and that's a first down, another 3rd down conversion. Jalen Jones on the stop.
So the running game is working very well with Meadows. Just haven't seen a bunch of it today. We'll see if they kind of get in rhythm with that a little bit. Troy's been very pass heavy to start this ball game today. They've already thrown 15 attempts in the passing game, and Crowder's hit on 9 of those.
He's looking for a big chunk, and he's got it. Peyton Higgins inside the 30. Jones makes the tackle, but a big play for the Trojans.
It's pretty wild how one run play can open things up like that for you, but finally, a little bit of comfort in the pocket. Receiver was open. Great pass and catch. Goose Crowder got this team marching toward the red zone.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line. Fake handoff, and Crowder being pressured. He will scramble, and he's down to the 20-yard line. In fact, they're going to mark it at the 19, so he's very close to a first down.
Yeah, if he didn't get it, it's going to be very, very close. But just a yard short. Great run by the quarterback, though. Great awareness, too, to hop out of that pocket and take off like that.
Yeah, give Crowder 9 yards, 2nd and 1, and Meadows is hit at the line of scrimmage and no gain. Let's send it down to Rosie.
Hey guys, offensive coordinator Sean Reagan said this week he's looking for more consistency from the O-line. They need to overcome those 18 sacks in the last 2 games. He says they put a big emphasis on protecting the quarterback this week in practice. He's also hoping Troy can get the run game going this week as well.
All right, Rosie, thanks so much. Yeah, Paul Bowling, the center, started today at left guard. The left guard, Eli Russ, started at left tackle. Trajan Townsend was switched from left tackle to the right tackle, and both Townsend and Caleb Ash will see plenty of action in that right tackle position. So a lot of shifting on that line for Troy, just trying to make something work. And that's Meadows ducking under, and that duck might have got him that first down, and yes, it did at the 17.
Boy, he was just a thread away from being able to punch that in for 6.
Yeah, Jordan Huff made that stop. Otherwise, I think you're right.
Yeah, Troy
you
that
see
time,
Meadows so far, 22 yards, I'm sorry.
Yeah, on 5 attempts, and a lot of motion before that snap there, too. A lot of guys moving around, trying to confuse this Georgia State defense a little bit. I think they're really trying to open this running game up, though, that hasn't been there so far.
Up the middle, Meadows again, inside the 15-yard line. A little bit of a rugby match just came into play.
I like the quarterback coming in with the
Yes.
final push there.
Well, looks like Meadows will pick up 4. That was Kedrick Walker on that stop.
The Goose Crowder tush push was good for at least 1.5 yards of that 4.
And looks like, is there some motion up front?
That's a
Defense, number 18. Disconcerting signal, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
So they got him on the clap.
Yep, can't
out
clap.
there, out wide, and yeah, you can't do that.
So he's got an offside, and now he's got the clap call against him at the cornerback position.
He's gonna catch quite a bit from coach on the sideline here in a moment too, I'm sure.
So now they picked it up.
Yeah, I'm as confused as yeah. There
So
we go.
no foul.
I don't know how do you wave that off. Do you review that like?
Yeah, that review was as quick as the clap.
I mean, you either clap or you didn't. I don't know. That's.
I don't get Kirby Smart going in this conversation. All right, here's Crowder. The give to Meadows down to the 10-yard line, and he was covered up by Kedrick Walker.
All right, we got Booth tells us we got another look at it here.
Yep. See, he clapped a couple times, and then, but I don't know if
it looked like he was trying to get somebody's attention on the sideline.
Yeah. All right, we understand.
I'm good with the wave off there. Yeah, I think
totally.
I don't think that was a problematic deal.
All right, here we go. 3rd down and 3. Meadows is in the backfield. Crowder will go up top. Plenty of time. Can't find anybody open. And then he just airmails that pass to the far side. And it's going to be 4th down. And I think we might see Scott Taylor Renfro. Yes.
Let's give them their flowers, Will. Offensive line did a great job on that play. Now, granted, Georgia State didn't bring a ton of pressure, but offensive line did a fantastic job keeping that pocket together for Goose Crowder. He had all afternoon to throw the football there. Just wasn't able to come up with a completion. Troy trying to field goal when we return.
All right, back here in Troy. Try to make a quick switch on us. We went to break, and then all of a sudden the players came out. So we're not, this crew of ours, we're not going to let you miss a play. So here's Scott Taylor Renfro. Coach Parker said he just bleeds Troy. Ultimate teammate. And Scott Taylor Renfro has just tied things up here on Senior Day. He talked about Scott Taylor, all about relationships. He has relationships, friendships with the defense, the offense, just a great teammate. So a drive for Troy leads to a touchdown, I should say a field goal, and we're tied at 3 with 7:26 left in the first half. Field goal has tied it. That capped off a 13-play, 65-yard drive. It's been kind of a lot to celebrate for Scott Taylor Renfro. And with more on that story, let's send it down to Rosie.
Guys, he actually got engaged 2 weeks ago on the 50-yard line here at the vet to his fiancee Addison. So congratulations to the happy couple. Pretty cool. Coach Parker actually calls him the old man around here. But like you said, Will, he has great relationships across the board with this team.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And what did Coach Parker also tell us yesterday? He said that just screams Scott Taylor Renfro to get engaged at the 50-yard line here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Comes from a great family, really good friends, that family, with the McLeans, former Troy athletic director, Jeremy McLean. In fact, Scott Taylor's brother and Jeremy's son, they're roommates at Delta State on the football team.
Yeah, Jeremy's now the AD down at Southern Miss, and they're not having a good afternoon right now. Trailing South Alabama 21-7 in the second quarter.
It's going to come down to a huge game next Saturday in Hattiesburg between Troy and Southern Miss, and maybe both teams have been looking ahead to that one. Troy, with that field goal, at least is tied here at 3-3 halfway through the second quarter. Here's Cam Brown looking and finding his receiver. And that is the true freshman, Kyle Washington, with his 5th catch of the year. Jordan Stringer on the stop.
Yeah, Cam Brown locked in, got pressure coming again, able to find his man. Wide open is Kyle Washington with a big gain and a big first down out to midfield for Georgia State.
All right, here Jordan Simmons now to the right of Brown. That's Riles in motion, and this is Simmons. Over 400 yards rushing on the year. Devin Lafayette on that stop. Boy, asked Coach Wright yesterday who's been playing solid and who's been really hot down the stretch. And, of course, Lafayette, as always. He also talked about Jaquez White standing out, and one of your good buddies on the defensive line as well, Ben.
Yeah, Jamel Filsamy.
And again on the ground, and again a solid pickup. In fact, it's a first down at the 41-yard line. He also, of course, talked about Jordan Stringer, as always.
Yeah.
That was Medina on that tackle.
Yeah, Filsamy, I was noting that he's a notable talker on this defensive front, and I said that he learned that from his 5th grade teacher, who is my wife. So taught him years ago.
She does a little trash
and
talking at the dinner table.
She's the queen of trash talk.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm sure she taught him well.
That's a storyline. 1st and 10 at the 41. It's Simmons again inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line. Gives Simmons 3 more yards. He now has 37 yards on 8 carries today.
Yeah, this Georgia State offense, Hugh Jackson's in his bag right now. And some familiar names on this staff, too. Damian Craig is their wide receivers coach, of course, notable in the state of Alabama. And he's been around a lot of places, but here on this staff at Georgia State now, and they've got some good rhythm going offensively with Cam Brown at the moment.
Brown, that pocket collapses, sacked, fumble. Did Troy get it? The Trojans say they've got it.
Recovered by the offense. 3rd down.
And they're saying that Georgia State did recover. Filsamy and DJ Jackson applying the pressure.
Yeah,
we'll
Troy,
see who stripped it.
Troy brought a ton of pressure that time. Ball is out there. And you're right, yeah, it's number 8 there for Georgia State, able to jump on top of that ball.
That's
Cameron Brown, yeah.
But now a 3rd down and almost forever. Robinson in the backfield, looking for the long pass right there at the seam. That was the tight end, Grant Hollier, who had a nice catch earlier in this game. Incomplete, 4th down and 17.
I was trying to give Georgia State props on their offensive drive there, and it all kind of fell apart as quickly as I could say it. But got the ball out to midfield in a field position ball game like we're playing today. A nice punt here. If you can pin Troy back inside the 10-yard line again, you like your chances of getting to the half with a pretty manageable score here. 3-3 with 4:48 to go in the 2nd quarter.
Peyton Higgins is back deep. He had a 32-yard punt return earlier in a game that we called, Ben. That punt by Chandley.
Beautiful. Wow.
That's how you draw it up. And Troy will have the football, 1st and 10. Once again, lousy field position for Goose Crowder. They'll have it at the 10-yard line. When we come back, we're tied at 3. It's been a defensive game so far here in Troy's last home game of the year. Tez Johnson, boy, big game there. 4 catches, 2 of them went for touchdowns in week 10. And then, of course, Kimani Vidal continues to turn heads for the Chargers. What we called some terrific games by Vidal, some 200-plus games.
He's one of the best running backs in the NFL right now. I mean, he's playing outstanding to start the season. We, of course, knew his capabilities, but Harbaugh's got the wheels turning on young Vidal in the NFL. And, by the way, Tez Johnson, too, becoming a star very quickly down in Tampa.
Pass to the far side, complete on first down. As we approach 4.5 minutes, that was a stop by Huff.
5-yard gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 5 at the 15-yard line.
On the reception by Trey Taylor, the senior from Shreveport. And Jarvis Williamson, the senior from Mobile. Coach Parker talking about his positive attitude every time, and he's quite the firecracker. He brings the juice on a daily basis, maybe the most juice on the team. Pass to the near side. It is caught and trying to get the first down, but Georgia State's defense not going to allow it. I think that was Trey Taylor again on the reception, and he was hit initially by Tyson McCrary. He's a true freshman, Ben.
Yeah, Trey Taylor really refused to go down there. He's going to get forward progress, but pushed back there. He got hurt. Something happened to him on the tail end of that play.
Yep.
And he came out of the ball game.
And he wasn't feeling great after that last play. So 3rd and short. And will we see a little bit of – nope. We thought we were going to see a little tush push.
A little 32 personnel there?
Yes.
Is that what that was?
And it's going to be a first down for Troy. Yes, I think you were asking Coach Reagan about what Troy would be doing, mostly in 11 personnel, some 21 personnel. But you saw 3 tight ends in there.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a big heavy set there. And kind of going with that again, too, here. So
3 minutes left here in the first half.
Got that bunch set.
Please set the game clock to 3:14 and the play clock to 25 seconds. Thank you.
Jordan Lovett in now at the running back position. Just over 3 minutes as they adjust the clock. What did Dante Wright tell us? The important minutes late in the first half and the beginning of the second half, he calls it the middle 8. It's huge for momentum. The last 4 minutes of the first half, the first 4 minutes of the second half.
Oh yeah, this is the time right here where you can really make a living.
Troy University.
And what
first
happens
time out of the first half, 30 seconds.
at the end of the,
Please set the
like
game
you
clock
mentioned, the end of the
to
second quarter, beginning of the
3:14.
third.
Thank you.
Georgia State's going to get the football though coming out of the half because
That's right.
Troy elected to receive to start the game today, trying to get something going early here, and they've really kind of been unable to do that through the first half.
Sean Reagan, the offensive coordinator, was telling us yesterday on that Zoom call with you and me, along with Rosie, that they need to be more consistent on the line. They got to protect Crowder, and of course made the moves on the line, trying to get that best 5 to give Troy lanes to run. He said Temple is going to be a big deal for us, and that they've got to get lined up quickly. Of course, that's part of tempo. You got to get lined up, be locked and loaded and ready to go.
Yeah, it takes a lot of discipline, and everybody's got to be in pretty good shape too. I don't think that's going to be a problem this time of the season though, but yeah, to be able to sustain it though is very difficult.
Here's Crowder, and he takes it up to the 28-yard line. That's a 5-yard pickup before Kedrick Walker makes the stop. He had 11 tackles last week. He's now over 50 on the year.
Yeah, let's take another look here. Is that a design run? Yes, it was, I think. So Crowder takes off up the middle, and
Yep.
again, you hate seeing this guy get hit. A little slow to get up there.
Oh, boy, and there's some concern with the Troy coaches to our right in their booth. Crowder again, not 100%, but he gets the call, and he's going to be close to the first down. You got to be tough to play that position. Bishop Thomas in on that tackle for Georgia State.
Yeah, and that's just another design run there too for Crowder.
Pump fake, and on third and less than a yard, it is knocked down.
2:17 to go. Let me see that heavy set again. 32 personnel. Bring it out there and go for it on fourth and ultimate short here, but they're going to punt the football away, it looks like.
Derek Maxey, the third, looks like he got a hand on that one. Well, Rhodes Nelson was there as well, number 13. So here's Crenshaw. 21 punts this year have been inside the 20. Javon Robinson is back deep, averaging right at 43 yards a punt, and that is beautiful. I mean, you talk about top shelf. Crenshaw pins him to the 6.
Yeah, I mean, the punters are the stars of the show today, right?
Absolutely.
It's been a punt festival, as I like to call it so far.
Sunbelt scoreboard time, as of course here we're tied at 3. Fourth quarter, Marshall and App State, they're in a thriller. Halftime, and you talked about it earlier, Ben, Southern Miss trailing by 2 touchdowns at South Alabama. That's a big-time rivalry right there.
That's interesting score there.
Coastal Carolina down by 3 scores to South Carolina, and ULM and Texas State in the first quarter scoreless. So Georgia State has it, first down and 10. They're pinned, like Troy has been quite often here in the first half, and they give to Simmons. Not much room to run. DJ Jackson, the transfer, played at Carson Newman along with Coffeyville Community College.
2-minute timeout.
And look at Goose Crowder. He is not feeling well. So the 2-minute timeout. We're back to Troy, tied at 3. Late in the first half, the 2-minute timeout. Georgia State has to be careful. Jordan Simmons is the running back, And that is Robinson in motion. The fake to Simmons, the pass to Robinson, and he is popped right away by Kalino Levine. Let's send it downstairs to Rosie.
Hey guys, quarterback Goose Crowder is currently in the medical tent. Before he went in, I saw a Troy athletic trainer taping up his left hand. He's still in the medical tent right now.
Yeah, we had that shot, thank you, Rosie, before we went to that timeout.
156. Thank you.
And that he looked like he was in a lot of pain.
Yeah, it looked to me like designed runs on that last drive for Troy's offense, and he took a shot on both of those as he ran the football. Now, he ran the football well. He gained 4 or 5 yards both plays, but took a pretty good shot twice on that last drive.
You saw Jared Parker. He was telling us we have to play a certain way to win. And he mentioned also losing Trey Cooley before the season was a big deal, and we've seen that. And he also told us they can't win a shootout. You know, he would love to have an offense that could win 42-41, but he said, no, we don't have that, so we got to play a certain way to win. And now 3rd and long for Brown, and it's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. I think that was Robinson, and that was Sisvana on the coverage.
So Troy's going to get the football back here with some time to spare. 2-minute drill here. It ought to be pretty good field position. Maybe the best field position of the day.
Peyton Higgins is back deep. He's right at the midfield stripe. And Liam Rickman out of Guyton, Georgia. And he punts this one to the far side, and it will go out of bounds right around midfield. Goose Crowder just came out of the medical tent for Jared Parker, and let's see. Will he come out? Yes, he will. So Goose Crowder gets out of the medical tent just in time for this offensive series.
And what do you do here to end the half? I think my personal strategy would be run the ball on 1st down, get the clock moving, just in case things don't go well. Let's see what your quarterback's got here on 2nd down with no pressure. Clock's moving one way or the other. That way you can at least get out of here 3-3 without giving the ball back to Georgia State if things don't go well. But it looks like they may take a shot here.
Yeah, you got great field position. I go for it. And there is Crowder. Once again, the offensive line did not give him much protection, and that is Fuchsius Lewis II out of Savannah, Georgia, making the sack.
3rd and final timeout of the first half, 30 seconds.
So, and that's what you don't want to do. And let me tell you.
Please set the game clock to 1:38.
This defensive front for Georgia State, it's pretty easy to see where Dale McGee used to work with the Georgia Bulldogs, because a lot of that Kirby Smart defense up at Georgia, it's a lot of defensive shifts, a lot of just angry defensive line play, and that's what you've seen out of this Georgia State defensive front so far today. And Fuchsius Lewis II, like you mentioned there, able to get through and wreak havoc on that last play. And now Troy's back is against the wall, 2nd and long here. Got to try to make something happen. Some points before the half would be great, but ultimately their goal is to not give the football back to Georgia State.
You talked about McGee and Kirby Smart. He was on Kirby's first staff at Georgia as a running backs coach, and he stayed with that running back position his entire stay there at Georgia. That pass is complete. Crowder completes it to Epps, and Deuce Fillmore threw Epps out of bounds. 3rd down and 11 coming up, a pickup of 6.
Yeah, Crowder is moving slow after that big hit a moment ago. And this is a big 3rd down here for this team.
$1:33 left here in the first half. 2 receivers to each side, and Crowder's looking to the right side, and it's caught. Finding the seam was Ethan Connor, and a 1st down tackled by Deuce Walker. But now, Troy, that changes the complexion of this drive.
Yeah, it certainly does. You're within Scott Taylor Renfro's long range of the year which is 47. So in great shape here to end the half.
Crowder to the end zone. Touchdown, Ethan Connor. Second touchdown of the year for Connor. And the senior on senior day delivers for the Trojans.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about kicking a field goal when you throw a touchdown pass like that. Ethan Connor with the great grab, the hit, pushes his way into the end zone. 6 points on the board for Troy. And this offense may have found what they're looking for here within this 2-minute drill. Really a 60-second drill here for the offensive squad.
Scott Taylor Renfro in for the extra point to make it 10-3 Trojans. He's 28 out of 29 this year. Make it 29 out of 30. And Troy, a 4-play, 45-yard drive, took 22 seconds. The final 26 yards, the touchdown from Crowder to Connor. That was a big pass. And then the next play, Connor again.
Yeah, Connor able to absorb the hit, stays up, bounces into the end zone. That's a great catch and throw there. And big-time confidence boost for this offense as well. I think Georgia State maybe sleeping on that tight end position a little bit there. Connor had a lot of room, and that's what they do in this offensive strategy here at Troy. They lull you to sleep with something else, and then if stuff isn't working, hit the tight end, man, and boom, reservations for 6.
Patty McAteer with a touchback. And yes, how about that last drive? First down, a sack. So it's 2nd and 17, and you're thinking, uh-oh,
yeah,
be careful. And then 2 plays later, they're in the end zone. All
yeah,
right,
it
a minute
didn't
15
look good.
left.
It didn't look good to
No.
start the drive, but it ended well. It really did. Let's see if Georgia State can answer here.
All about responding, and let's see.
I'd expect Georgia State to let it fly here, too.
DJ Braswell, the transfer from South Carolina, is at running back, and he just got gobbled up by a couple different Trojans, Stringer and Sisvana.
Troy defensive front feeling the riz, as the kids would say. Dante Wright's in his bag right now.
Well, he told us they played so passive last week. He said, we've got to out-physical them. We've got to be the most physical team and be aggressive, especially in that defensive secondary. And he also said, remember, the last thing he said when I asked about a concern, got to know number 1, and they've done a nice job keeping Hurst quiet in the first half. Preseason All-Sun Belt Conference wide receiver Cameron Brown slides,
wow.
And we're going to have a possible target on Jordan Stringer, and I guarantee you that's not the way he wants to end if it is indeed targeting when it comes to senior day. And that would be a big blow. The leading tackler the last couple of years for the Trojans, leading the team again in tackles this season. Coming in 5 more than Lafayette, and Brown, the quarterback, is still down.
What you're looking for on a play like that, well, listen to the official.
Defense, number 7, late hit with targeting. The previous play is on the video review. Timeout.
Now, if he can just get charged with the late hit here, he's okay. It's the targeting that's going to ruin his day.
You see Brown giving himself up with the slide. And Stringer, but he was leading with his shoulder, though. So it's not the crown of the helmet is not involved. And, of course, we always enjoy talking to the replay officials. They come over and talk with us before every broadcast.
Yeah, you look for indicators. He didn't launch.
No.
There was no helmet lead like you mentioned there. And the problem is, and it would be a late hit, but once that quarterback starts to give himself up, you start looking at where his hips are. If his hips lower, okay, then he's a defenseless player.
Of the video review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Number 7 for Troy is disqualified from the game. 1st and 10, Georgia State.
And that is Jordan Stringer's last play at home, and Scott Taylor Renfro immediately giving him a hug. And that could play a role in the second half, folks. He is the leader on that defense, the heart and soul. And he is kind of feeling the impact right now.
He's such a vital part of this defense. And yeah, they're saying, I mean, he came in on his helmet.
Reset the game clock for 29 seconds. Thank you.
And Brown has to leave, and here's Veillere. Transfer from Pitt. Only 11 passes this year, completed 4 of them for 52 yards, and he's got Branson Robinson to his left. Veillere, though, threw for over 2,000 yards last year for Georgia State. And the give to Robinson across the 45 up to the 46-yard line, stopped by Devin Lafayette. He had 9 tackles last week, Lafayette, and he's now over 90 on the year. Veillere has time, scrambling, now lets it loose, far side, and it's caught. He's got a good arm, Ben. You don't throw for over 2,000 if you don't.
No, you're right. And Georgia State going with some tempo there. They're going to try to maybe take another shot here.
Georgia State, this is their third and
6
final
seconds to
timeout
go.
in the first half. 30 seconds.
So Georgia State, you see that pass once again. Boy, he put that one right where it needed to be. And the reception by the true freshman from Hollywood, Florida, Kyle Washington. Only 4 catches on the year, but he's had an impact in this first half. You know, the last time Georgia State played here at Troy, Ben, was 2020, and they left with a thrilling win, 36-34. They outscored the Trojans that day, and they're looking for an upset here
Reset the
today.
game clock to 8 seconds. Thank you.
And some points here late in the first half would help.
2020, I'm trying to recall if we were on the call that day. We did a lot of games during that COVID year for Troy.
Certainly did. So here you go. They've put 8 seconds now on the clock. Simmons is in the backfield, and that pass is complete to Grant Hollier. Keep in mind, Rickman does not have the strongest leg. His long coming in was the 31-yarder against Georgia Southern, but he kicked the 34-yarder earlier, and they're going to go for, it looks like, what, a 47-yarder here.
He's got the leg. Where he's missed is on accuracy.
Okay.
He's been very close. I went back
Fair
and watched a lot of his kicks today, and I mentioned that James Madison game earlier today. And against Marshall, too, he missed one. The length was there, but the accuracy was not. So if he can put it between the uprights, he's got it the distance.
Off the hold of Bo Gaines, and he dials long distance. Rickman just 2 for 4 coming into the game on the year. He's 2 for 2 here in the first half, and it's 10-6 Troy. And here is the targeting once again on Stringer, and that helped lead for a field goal. Final score, or I should say the halftime score is 10-6 Troy over Georgia State.
Veterans Memorial Stadium in Troy, Alabama. The Trojans taking on Georgia State. Scores 10-6. Troy with the lead right now. This is the sound of the South marching band on the field as we speak, and doing a great job, of course, as always. Taking a look at the earlier portion of the game, the festivities today. Today's Military Appreciation Day, and I'm glad to be joined by Captain David Corsia and Captain Leah Anderson, part of our flyover crew to start the game today. And boy, it's a great flyover. Every time you hear that thunder from Fort Rucker, it always gives me some good vibes. Is this your first flyover? Have either of you done one before?
Yeah, it's my first flyover.
First flyover as well.
Nice. What'd you think today? How'd it go?
It was awesome.
It was
great.
good.
Great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Are you trying to look out the window down at the stadium while you're going over, or do you have to be, business locked in?
We're looking in the chin bubble, and our crew members in the back were just staring out the ramp. So.
Gotcha. So both of you are here from, David, you mentioned you're from Pennsylvania, and Leah from Texas.
That's right.
Stationed here in the Wiregrass at Fort Rucker. I think it's a lot of folks don't maybe recall that most Army pilots are trained right here in this area of the country, and then carry out missions all over the world. Talk about some of that training. Talk about what it's been like for you all to live here in the Wiregrass and train the last couple of years here at Fort Rucker.
Yeah, it's a great experience. Awesome training program we do for our pilots, and like you said, we go out all over the world to train and fly. We're both instructor pilots at Fort Rucker. We try to put students through the most stressful situations we can here, so that when they get out into the force, it's no issue. So we've got a great structured training program here for our student pilots.
Yeah, and Fort Rucker, such a vital part of this community. What does it mean to be able to give back, David, on a day like this, to come and fly over and show the kids what it's about?
Oh, it's amazing. It's great to show all the fans out here and stuff what we do in Army Aviation, and what we do every single day down in Fort Rucker. So. Yeah,
certainly so. I want to ask you this, too. A lot of teams do these military appreciation games, and just what goes through your head when you get to come to a game like this, and the festivities behind us here, honoring a lot of veterans today, of course, like yourselves. And what does that mean to folks on post down at Rucker when you get to come to an event like this?
Yeah, the visibility is great, obviously, to honor our veterans and our active duty service members, but it's also awesome to come share a little bit of what we do and the people that we support and get people pumped up for America. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. They do a great job of getting folks pumped up about America at Fort Rucker with the 4th of July fireworks, and then, of course, stuff like this as well. And I was telling them, when my wife and I first got married, we lived right under a flight pattern, so we would hear that Fort Rucker sound all day and all night. It's the sound of freedom. We certainly appreciate the service that both of you give to our country, and we thank you for coming today. It was a great flyover, and appreciate everything that you do for our nation as well. Thanks so much for being with us.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, that's two fine captains from Fort Rucker, and of course we salute all of our soldiers at Fort Rucker and nearby Fort Benning as well. We're going to take a quick break. We're back with more coverage right here on ESPN right after this.
Welcome back to Troy, Alabama. What a wonderful Military Appreciation Day it has been. Of course, Ben just had the interview, and I love it with the band playing the different Armed Forces theme songs. How about the first half stats, though, Ben? Time of possession heavily toward Troy, 5.5 more minutes, basically. And they've got quite a few more passing yards.
Yeah, those third down conversions have been big in this game so far, and the passing yardage really is the difference, but none bigger than that chunk play when they threw the ball to tight end Ethan Connor there on the touchdown pass. That's really been the biggest difference in the pass game so far today.
When you take a look at the highlights and in this first half, you'll see that, yes, defense dominated early on. In fact, there was no scoring in the first quarter.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a boring football game to start out. A punt festival, as I said, and some good punts to start this game off as well.
And as always, it's Sun Belt Conference play, so there's some hard hitting. And then Georgia State scored first, a 34-yard field goal by Rickman. And with 13:33 left in the first half, it was 3-zip. Scott Taylor Renfro with 7.5 minutes left in the first half, tied it at 3. And then the offenses started clicking late in the first half. Goose Crowder, back-to-back passes to Ethan Connor. The final 26 yards was a touchdown, 10-3 Troy.
Ethan Connor's physicality, able to bounce off that defender there, make the catch and get in. I mean, he's got NFL size. That was a big play right there, though, on the defensive side.
Stringer out for the second half. This field goal by Rickman from 47 yards, and it's 10-6 here at halftime. All right, we'll have more of our halftime report coming up right after this. 10-6. All right, folks, it's a tradition like no other. It's the best Thanksgiving desserts as voted on by our crew. So these are all our crew members. You see Jackson, he's basically our producer director today.
Yeah.
He's going with Jeff's homemade cookies with ice cream.
Jackson, who's Jeff? Oh,
That's
his dad. Okay,
That's his
all
dad,
right.
yes. Banana pudding, obviously a staple.
Yeah, there we go.
Katie and Dustin both going with pecan pie.
They're married, so that's good.
Yeah, it's something that they base their it's a
Frigge.
Foundation in the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you got Frigge, who kind of runs the whole show here at Troy and then Reese Davis. It's the Reese
The
Davis,
real
not
Reese
the
Davis,
other one.
yeah.
Okay, then we got some other ones as well.
Who's Jason's mom? Oh,
Yeah, well,
that's a story in itself.
How about strawberry pretzel salad for yours truly?
Tell
My
me
wife Tina makes it, and she puts extra whipped cream on the top for me. So that just forget about it.
I'd never heard of that till today.
Hershey pie. How about Rosie? We got to ask her about this.
Rosie,
Publix key lime pie, and then you got pecan pie. Look at the winners. Chocolate pie. Look at Jordan and Thomas, and even TJ, my spotter. He goes with the pound cake.
Nice touch.
Rosie, let's talk a little bit about this key lime pie.
It is absolutely incredible. If you know me, you know that I love Publix key lime pie. I wish they would sponsor me. It feels like an ad right now, but I'm telling you, it's so refreshing. It's a great dessert. It's pretty light. It's tangy. It's sweet. It's everything you need. It's perfect for Thanksgiving.
All right. Hey, what a nice advertisement there.
I know.
Very nice. We're going to have one more segment of our halftime report. When we come back, Goose Crowder, we'll see if he's good to go in the second half. He's the only guy that scored a touchdown in the first half. That's why it's 10-6 here at the break as we get ready to start the third quarter. Troy will be kicking off, which means Patty McAteer kicked an American football for the first time in April of 2024, and now he's just sending touchback after touchback.
Yeah, he's gotten pretty good at it.
Yes,
through the
he
last
has.
couple of seasons, huh?
Man, he has got himself a leg. I mean, he can just powder it. Of course, he had that big 53-yard field goal at Texas State. That was a big play. All right, here we go. And in the second half, it will not be Cam Brown. It will be Christian Valle, I should say. And Brandon Robinson will be his running back. So Valle gets the start. Once again, injuries. We talked about in the open how that's played a role with these quarterbacks on both these teams this year. And on first down, a solid run by Branson Robinson. All right, Rosie, what did the coaches say?
Well, Jared Parker told me that they will have Goose Crowder to start the second half, but he's improvement on the offense. They just got to do the little things right. They still want to play with tempo. And with not having Jordan Stringer, that's a big blow for Troy's defense. But Jared Parker says they have the next man up mentality. He still has playmakers like Luke Hodge and Stephen Catledge. He didn't seem very worried about it, guys.
All righty. Well, that pass was incomplete. Thank you so much, Rosie. And it's third down and 3 to go.
Well, I think he's right about having playmakers to step up, but boy, you just hate to see Jordan Stringer's home turf career come to a close the way it did there in the first half.
Third and short. Valle scrambling. His pass is incomplete, and he'll set up fourth down. Talked with the instant replay officials at halftime, Ben, and they were saying that it was simply 9-1-4, wasn't 9-1-3, but in the rules it was just leading with that shoulder into a defensive player right into the head area, the head area, and that proved to be the difference.
Yeah, and again, you watch the hips. Once his hips lower, once his backside goes towards the ground at all, he becomes defenseless player once he's given himself up like that.
A high punt sailing out of bounds. There's some flags on the field to the near side on that punt by Reed Chanley out of Canton, Georgia, transfer from Houston Christian. And we'll see what Trennis will tell us.
This is coming against Troy, it looks like.
Wow. Trennis forgot to open his mic, it looks like. Now,
During the kick.
There we go.
Holding. Receiving team, number 12. 10-yard penalty will be enforced at the end of the kick. First and 10.
First of all, how about Trennis Livingston? Even though he didn't turn his mic on right away, most referees are like, okay, that's it. He's like, no, take two.
Yeah, let's regroup here.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Trennis. Great work.
So now, with that call, let's see where they're going to spot Troy with the football. And Goose Crowder will start. Tay Meadows will be his running back. And they're going to mark it. Looks like it's at the 42.
You know, my comment there on the punt was I was getting ready to say, and sometimes you think about what you're going to say, and you're like, oh, man, I'm about to nail it here. This is going to be some great color analysis, all right?
Yeah.
I was going to say, this is be Troy's best field position off a punt today. And then flags come in, back it up 10 yards.
Well, yeah, outside of that last drive that they had at the 45-yard line of
it actually
Georgia
still may
State,
be, yeah.
that was – but then they had the sack, but then a couple passes to Connor, and then it was a touchdown for Troy. It looks like now at the 32-yard line. So here's Crowder. He completed 65% of his passes in the first half for 147 yards, and that touchdown to Connor. Crowder, far side, caught Ra Thomas. Ra had that drop last week. Would have been a touchdown against Old DU. Deuce Walker on that tackle.
Great start, great pocket protection, going with tempo here. Not going to give Georgia State a chance to substitute. They like the matchup they've got with two wideouts on each side.
Ra third on the team in receiving, and he just had the catch there, and he fumbles it. And the two-time Bulldog, Mississippi State and Georgia Bulldog, fumbles it, and Georgia State recovers.
Yeah, another look here. It was clear as day. It was a catch.
The run on the field was a catch by the offense, fumbled and recovered by the defense. First and 10, Georgia State.
Or was it? We'll see what they got to take another look at this now, but able to turn the ball upfield, I think, is where you get the ruling of it being a catch, and that ball pops out. You could make a debate that he didn't have control of it.
Deuce Walker right there on that recovery, the sophomore from Salisbury High School there in North Carolina. And you saw that initial hit.
He was able to pull that thing in and tuck it. Yeah, that's a fumble. And what an unfortunate fumble for Troy's offense. So we're just stayed in business here, though, with an opportunity to get the lead.
Totally. Jalen Jones made that strip on Ra Thomas. Now a big chunk on first down. It's caught. Veyer, the long pass, and complete to Javon Robinson. Sisvana on the tackle.
Well, Hugh Jackson smelled blood there on that play. That's exactly what that was. Defense wasn't ready. Anytime you get a team that's discombobulated like Troy was, having to switch personnel like that real fast, you got to play ready. And a dagger play like that, and Georgia State's in business here.
Branson Robinson breaking one tackle, still on his feet, and he got some help from his friend. Boy, one of the offensive linemen, that was 52, Donovan Funch, the sophomore, 320 pounds, 6'6". He gave him a shove for 2 more yards. That was Talik Robbins on the tackle, former Ole Miss and Northeast Mississippi Community College standout, along with playing at Houston. Simmons is in the backfield to the right of Veyer. There's a pickup of 6 on that play by Robinson, and this one, pass out in the right flat. Again to Javon Robinson, and Levine on the tackle.
Yeah, good job by Colino to pressure there and to make a big play in the backfield. Able to get off his man and stop that from being a big pickup for that Georgia State offense. The receiver not able to turn the corner. That's of course the key there. If you can turn the corner, you can get big yardage gains, but you got to be able to do it. And Levine with a big play there.
3rd and 8. Let's see if he's going to find Ted Hurst, preseason first-team all-conference selection. He doesn't have a catch yet. Oh, they're going to the tight end down the seam, and that was intended for Lane Waddell, or Waddell, I should say. And it's going to set up 4th down. And here comes a pretty active kicker, Liam Rickman. 2 field goals on the year, folks, in case you just joined us, and he kicked a pair of field goals in the first half alone.
He's a big kicker, too, 5'10", 225.
Rickman going for the hat trick, and it's not going to hook enough, and it's missed to the right. So, with 11:50 left here in the 3rd quarter, the missed field goal by Liam Rickman. And Troy will take over. Goose Crowder will have some decent field position when we come back. Tough day at the office so far for Goose Crowder. Had shoulder surgery earlier this year, and he has been dinged up, and he's been hit and battered all afternoon.
Yeah, he's showing his toughness in this ball game this afternoon. He's had a tough outing. That's league play in November, though. When you're chasing a championship, you got to be expecting to get hit. You got to be able to take it. And he's done that and done it well. Did take a quick trip to the medical tent earlier, but bounced out, and he's playing football today.
Lovett is the running back to his right. Trajan Townsend is starting at right tackle here in the second half. We saw Caleb Ash playing right tackle as well in the first half. And here's Crowder, near side, the quick pass, not allowing that pass rush to get to him. The intended receiver, is that Mothershed? Yes, Roman Mothershed, the sophomore from just up the road in Montgomery. He came in with the most receptions. Georgia State obviously a go-to to Hurst, but Troy spreads the sugar with about 4 or 5 receivers, over 20 catches. DIC makes the tackle there. And that pass to Peyton Higgins, it's going to set up 3rd and 6.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts. Mojo Dortch, Ra Thomas, Trey Taylor, DJ Epps, all guys that could do things for you on this offense. And then, if none of that's working, Ethan Connor, tight end. He's got a big touchdown catch in this game already today as well.
Taylor and Epps each have 4 catches. Ra Thomas and Higgins have 3 each. Here's Crowder, far side. Got a man. It's caught up by midfield and a first down. A big 3rd down conversion to Epps.
Yeah, Epps again got 2 steps on his man. That's all he needs. Goose able to put that out toward the sideline and let Epps go and get it. Nice pass and reception. Big gain there for a big first down as well out to midfield.
Handoff. Love it. To the 49 of Georgia State.
And Troy's backed off the tempo a little bit here in this second half. I think the goal at this point is you start trying to, maybe not forefront of your mind, but bleeding a little clock here, taking your time. You got the lead. Make sure you got time to get things right offensively and going with a little bit heavier package this time as well.
Josiah Robinson had that tackle. He's 7th in the Sun Belt in tackles per game, a little over 7.5. And that incompletion will set up another 3rd down.
Just over the hands of Ra Thomas. If he had caught that ball, he might have been gone for 6, but unable to pull it down. Here's another shot of it. Nicely done on the play action, though. Goose sold it well and able to get the ball out on a pass to Ra Thomas, just a little too high.
Crowder, near side, caught. Oh, the extra spin and a first down. There is a flag, though. What a catch. And a nice move after the catch by Mothershed. Check that Trey Taylor, that is. We're combining them. Trailer.
Say that 3 times fast.
Oh, my goodness. Tyler Scott had the tackle.
He's going to need a new Fruit of the Loom t-shirt, too, by the way.
Yes.
It came out, staff came out and just tore it off.
That 0 and 8.
No foul for offensive pass interference. 1st and 10. Troy.
Yep. First down. That gets me every time that from this far up, the 0 and the 8. But oh, look at that. Yep. Yeah, that T-shirt is history.
Oh yeah. Don't let go. Just hang on. Pull yourself up to him.
Here's Jarvis Williams, the senior from down the road at Blount High School there in Mobile. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line for Crowder. He's going up top, and it's batted down. Is that the big nose tackle? Let's see it. Yeah, that's Flournoy. Yep, the out of Moultrie, Georgia. 6'1", 325, a true freshman. Colquitt County High School. 2nd and 10 at the 39-yard line. Here's Crowder. Screen right there in the middle, breaking a couple tackles to the end zone. Ethan Connor, touchdown, Troy. Connor celebrating senior day in fine fashion, his 2nd TD reception of the afternoon.
Boy, Ethan Connor's become the MVP of the day. Watch this one more time when we get another look. He caught the ball in traffic on a beautifully designed screenplay. Here's another look. Crowder drops back, pressure comes in, and Connor's there. Not necessarily wide open. It was a great throw to Connor from Crowder. And Connor turning on some wheels there, man. The big fella pushing it in, rumbling for the touchdown. 6'4", 245, 5th-year senior having a career day in his last home game.
Columbus High School grad there in Mississippi, played at East Mississippi Community College. Been battling injuries, but when healthy, he is a weapon. And you'll see it one more time. 39 yards, caps it off a 8-play, 73-yard drive that took right at 2.5 minutes. The day for Ethan Connor, 3 catches, 85 yards, and 2 of the 3 catches found the end zone. Let's send it down to Rosie, that is.
Hey guys, Jordan Stringer is not playing here in the second half, but he's on the sidelines as happy as can be, especially for Ethan Connor. He was dapping him up as soon as he got off the sideline, gave him a big old hug. He's super happy. And that kind of goes back to what Dante Wright told us, the defensive coordinator. He's a bell cow of this team, an epitome of this program. You can see that he has great relationships with this guy, with his teammates.
Thank you, Rosie. Nice report there, and obviously Jordan Stringer, boy, just like the heart and soul of this Trojan team. Just so impressed with Ethan Connor. But we saw this the last couple of years, Ben. When he's healthy, he is dynamic.
Yeah, and I mean, making a case today for, I don't know what else is out there. Sunbelt Player of the Week, though, at least on the offensive side. He's done a nice job today. And, boy, he's been kind of itching for a big day like this, too, because like you mentioned, he's battled injuries. He missed a lot of time last year, and great to see him have the day that he's had.
There you see Stringer, the top cheerleader on that sideline. He is not out there defensively, obviously, for the second half after the targeting call. That pass was deflected, and it was just like a duck right up there in the air, but neither of the Trojan defenders tracked it down.
Timeout.
Yeah, got an injured player there up on the front for Georgia State.
I think that's Branson Robinson from Canton, Mississippi. Went to Germantown High School, transfer from Georgia. I just can't believe that what Troy's defense has done with Ted Hurst. I mean, this guy, the wide receiver, #1 for Georgia State, over 120 targets this year. I'll tell you what, we're going to step aside, have an injury timeout. We'll talk more about what Troy has done defensively against Hurst when we come back. Robinson on the sideline as Troy leads this game 17-6. 27 yards on 5 carries for Robinson today. But yeah, what they have done with Hurst is just remarkable. And we're going to send it down to Rosie in just a bit to talk about what Dale McGee was talking about when it comes to this secondary from Troy. But right now we've got Veillere pumps, and the pass is complete for a first down up to near the 40-yard line. And making the tackle is Lafayette and also Lott. Rosie, let's send it down to you. What did McGee say?
Well, they have to eliminate big plays, okay? That's going to be key. We have to be really good and disciplined in the secondary, not the second level with our safety and linebackers. We can't let them dictate the pace of the game. And also on offense, they got to pressure the quarterback.
And a carry across the 40 up to the 41-yard line. Still, I think, I got to check, Ben, but I think I only mentioned Hurst one time for a target. Donnie Smith made that play for Troy. But this is a guy that's had over 120 targets this year. had a career-high 10 catches, matched a career-high 2 touchdowns against Murray State, had 172 yards in that game. Had opportunities to go elsewhere, but he stayed at Georgia State after an outstanding season last year. He's dynamic. Veillere, the pass is caught up by midfield. That catch by DJ Riles, the transfer from Middle Tennessee.
Well, and Veillere there could feel the pressure on the back of his shoes. My goodness, able to get the ball out of there. And, boy, great pass and catch for Georgia State in the first down.
Riles from McGee's hometown, Columbus, Georgia, where you work, Ben. Hang out in Columbus, Georgia. And as you mentioned earlier, a lot of great athletes through the years from Columbus, Georgia. There's a give up the middle to the 44-yard line. And a solid pickup on first down. Catledge and Hodge share that tackle.
Yeah, I heard the morning news anchor in Columbus pretty good too. If you're ever there and up early. So.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind.
I got my spotter over here, Sam, looking for Hurst. He's on the sidelines right now. He hasn't been in the mix a lot. Wonder if maybe he's got an injury that we don't know about or something's going on with him. But
Braswell now is the running back. Yeah, that's a story that we need to kind of keep an eye out for, because this is a guy that is explosive. And that carry takes it down to near the 40. Well, and there's Hurst right there, right in the middle, number 1.
I mean, I think he looks good. You know,
yeah.
We've talked about, too, at times when he's on the field, he's one of the best players for both teams on the entire football field. And so, he's a big-time target. He just hasn't had a good day today.
3rd and 1. Georgia State goes to the ground game, and they've got another first down. That was Braswell getting the first down, and it was tackled by Julian Peterson, another one of those Troy seniors. Now with 30 tackles on the year, Veillere looking to go through the air, and he'll just throw it out of bounds. There is a flag, probably in the area of holding. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, that's going to be a hold on Georgia State. It was pretty obvious there coming through the gap.
Offense, number 2. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. Replay, first down.
But for Georgia State, you're down to your last quarterback. TJ Finley's not here. Cameron Brown is hurt. Christian Veillere is it. So
yeah.
If the option is holding or quarterback takes a big shot, bring on the flag then.
So Braswell got whistled for the hold. Here's Jordan Simmons now at running back. You saw him holding Hodge. 1st and 20. That'll get some of those yards back. That catch, that was to Jordan Simmons, Lafayette, and Thompson on that tackle.
It's pretty easy to see that Veillere is an experienced quarterback too. He's very comfortable out there.
Oh yeah.
He's not really a quick mover either. He's just a relaxed pocket passer. He throws the ball. He's walking after half these plays. You know, he just has this vibe, almost like he's been doing this for a long time. You know, just very, very relaxed. I like his poise so far.
2nd and 12. Oh, nice pass and catch. That is Javon Robinson out of Florida City, Florida. The junior's having himself a big game here today.
Yeah, and again, watch Veillere here. Just comfortable. That was his 3rd check down on the play. It was the wideout Javon Robinson over on the left side, because he went right, left with his eyes and hit Robinson for that big gain.
Yeah, he can throw a laser. 1st and 10 as Georgia State moves the chains. Veillere running around the end, and he'll step out of bounds as Sisvana will get credit for the tackle, but Veillere just 4 carries for 21 yards this year. That was a very impressive run. He had the whole Troy defense fooled.
Well, he really did. A little bit of a bootleg there. He's kind of lulled that Troy Trojans defense in. Because, like I said, even after a play, Veillere's not moving very fast in the backfield. He's just very casual. You know, to see him pick up speed and move some wheels like that kind of caught everybody off guard.
The give to Branson Robinson, and he got tattooed by Luke Hodge, and then some of Luke's buddies wrap him up, Sisvana and Davis. Boy, that was some kind of hit by Hodge.
Well, again, yeah, big time hit right
Bang!
there. Yeah. Troy plays a little bit better defense actually when it's compressed inside the red zone like this. The secondary's pushed up. You got a lot of playmakers in a tight space, and I think they actually thrive in scenarios like this.
There's Robinson into the end zone, and Branson Robinson has made it a one-score game.
Yeah, he's able to slip through and find the gap, and great run there by Robinson for the touchdown. Georgia State, and again, this is a pretty good football team who the results have just not favored this year in a lot of instances. And again, you go back to James Madison, the cream of the crop in the Sun Belt. Nobody's played them better than Georgia State, so don't be surprised that they're hanging around playing great football today. They are not indicative of what their record is here, and they're going to go for two, Will.
They've got Simmons to the left of Villar. Up top to the back of the end zone, and it's broken up by Kalino Levine. He was looking for the freshman Derek Avery Jr., and Levine had other ideas.
Yeah, great job by Kalino there. Smacked that ball out of the way. Nice awareness, and he's pretty pumped up about it. So 5-point lead for the Trojans. Time dwindling here in the third quarter, and
so that's his 5th pass breakup of the year. First of all, here's the touchdown. Good to see Robinson, who was injured earlier in this quarter. And then Levine. Boy, he's got some hops too. You see him climb over the
yeah.
Had like a little advertising down there in the just off the back of the end zone, and he climbed it over it. And with 3:29 left here, you see Jared Parker right there in the middle of the screen. He's got a 5-point lead. Higgins and Epps are back deep, awaiting the kick from Braden McAllister.
Boy, the head man, it's been a pretty good year for Troy. It hasn't been perfect, but you see the progress here, and the cornerstones have been placed for this program under Jared Parker, and they're really building something here in year 2.
Yeah, they're bowl bound. Just trying to win out and have a chance to play in the Sun Belt Conference Championship game in 2 weeks. And there's another touchback by McAllister. Shouldn't surprise anybody. Earlier this year, Ben, he kicked a 60-yard field goal against Marshall. 60.
Wow. 60.
Yeah. All right, let's see what Goose Crowder, let's see if the Trojans can respond. Lovett is the running back. And the give to Lovett. That is his 5th carry of the day, averaging about 2 yards a carry. Walker makes yet another tackle.
Lovett's carries haven't been flashy today, but what he's not going to get on the stat sheet a lot of love for is his pass protection. This guy's been very sacrificial of himself to help the quarterback and to help that pocket quite a bit today, and he's done a nice job. Been a great team player in that backfield. I don't know that it's 17 points on the board for Troy right now without Lovett's pass blocking.
He was in motion to the top of your screen. Crowder going for the big chunk play on that far side. It is incomplete. That was Epps, the intended receiver, and that was Gine on the coverage.
Yeah, so another big third down for this Troy team, and just not moving any clock throwing the football like this.
Sean Reagan, though, has to be thrilled with what Troy has done on third downs today with Crowder. 8 of 13. Georgia State still looking for their first third down conversion. 3rd and long. Crowder has time. Now the pocket collapse, and he's sacked. Crowder is sacked by Richard Kramer, a sophomore from Port St. Lucie, Florida. transfer from Hampton, and it's going to be 4th down, and here comes Crenshaw.
Number 28 for Troy is number 92.
Boy, that's tough for this Troy offense, and a great job by the Georgia State defense because they've got all the momentum right now. Stadium's quiet. Offense just ripped off a great drive for a touchdown, and they're getting the football right back.
Here's Crenshaw to Javon Robinson. He averages about 2 yards punt return. And there's the guy right there that had that big sack. That is Richard Kramer out of Treasure Coast High School.
Yeah, he looks pretty mean with that face paint on too.
Yes. Campbell and McNulty made that tackle, by the way, on special teams. And Crenshaw on that punt. He's had 18 punts of 50-plus yards this year. Troy had one 50-yard punt last season. Crenshaw named a semifinalist for the Ray Guy Award. And that punt gives Veer 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. Simmons is the running back. The play action. Veer's got a man down the field, and it's caught. That is Javon Robinson. What a game he is having. He came in with 48 receptions on the year. Poe and Levine on the tackle.
Man, they may paint a mural at Georgia State of Veer to Robinson. That's been the connection this afternoon. And another beautiful pass again. In traffic, Veer's putting the ball, though, where only his man can get to it. And Robinson runs out, catches another big one. Troy's in trouble here as Georgia State is on the march.
Give up the middle. It looked like that Javon Robinson might have gotten dinged up. Yeah, he is injured after that last catch. And you see him on that Georgia State sideline.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And here comes some medical attention.
That's a big hit for that offense.
Yes, especially with Hurst not involved today. And he's still on the sideline. I see him right there at the 36-yard line. The give to Simmons. Got hit at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for a couple. That was Hodge and Curry on the tackle. Good news that Robinson is back up.
Ted Hurst, though, next to him doesn't even have a helmet nearby. I wonder if he's injured.
He's got to be.
And we just don't know.
I'm telling you, I saw some of the tape that I watched before this game. I mean, guys had angles on him in the secondary, and he just blows right by him.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about some giddy up. He's got a 5th gear, folks, but we just haven't seen it today, and I think you're right, Ben. That was one of those injuries that kept quiet, and there's an interception. That's Devin Lafayette coming through. Dante Wright can't say enough great things about Devin Lafayette, and boy, he has had another monster season out of Brunswick, Georgia.
Boy, what a great grab there for Devin Lafayette, and huge, timely interception. Get the offense back on the field and try to get some points for the home team, but that was a big-time turnover.
Yeah, his first pick of the year.
1st and 10 on the 49-yard line.
And here's Tay Meadows at running back next to Crowder. Look at Lafayette. Great field position to start this drive at the 49-yard line. Crowder, a little play action. He sends it over to Higgins, and Higgins is dropped immediately by Kedrick Walker out of Adamsville, Alabama. And that will end the 3rd quarter.
Timeout.
But Troy, there he look at Devin wearing that crown proudly. Lafayette with his first interception of the season. There for a moment, I thought it might be a pick 6. And the Trojans have the football in a 17-12 lead as we head to the 4th quarter here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. third quarter. Will we have some fireworks here in the fourth quarter with Troy leading 17-12? You see the Trojans on the sidelines regrouping. Here's Crowder, play action. The pass is in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That was Jackson Worley, as DeIcy Hopkins on that coverage. I noticed even, Ben, in between quarters, J-Rock, Jordan Stringer was even helping the quarterbacks with staying warm.
And I was going to point out earlier on the interception too. He was first guy out to greet our man after the pick there as well.
Yeah, Lafayette after that interception. So he's staying involved. Of course, he's out in case you just joined us for targeting late in the first half. Here's Crowder, third and long, has time and caught in the near side and out of bounds. A key third down conversion as that pass to Trey Taylor.
Yeah, going with tempo here, another look at it, and almost able to turn the corner there upfield.
And if he could, with his afterburners. Crowder down the right side and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That was Epps. He was looking around for maybe a call, and I think he landed awkwardly, Ben.
Yeah, he hit the turf pretty hard. We'll take another look at this here as well.
That was Tyson McCrary on the coverage.
Timeout.
It may have made a case for pass interference there.
Yep, that's what Epps. That's why he looked around so quickly.
Defender had his hands inside the shoulder pad of Epps, and as he hit the turf, so tough break either way.
We're going to step aside with his injury timeout. 14:24 left. Trojans by 5. His injured receiver, DJ Epps, heading to the medical tent. He's had 5 catches tonight. Been one of the favorite targets of the night for Crowder. Here's one more look, Ben.
Yeah, it was close. I could see it either way for pass interference on that play, but the officials, the guys who get paid to do the job, said it wasn't there. So
Jarvis Williams is back at running back, getting a lot of action here today in his final home game at Troy. And the give is to Williams. And he's hit by a host of Panthers at the 31, I think the forward progress. Jabril Rhodes Nelson was the first to hit Williams.
31-yard line.
Out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Okay, so here's Williams, and he will stay in the game on a 3rd and 6. Right now, I've got Troy 9 for 15 on 3rd down conversions today, which has to thrill offensive coordinator Sean Reagan. Let's see what he dials up on 3rd and 6 at the 31. Crowder far side, caught. Peyton Higgins knocked out of bounds on another key 3rd down conversion. Deuce Fillmore sends him out of bounds, but that's now 10 of 16 on 3rd down for Troy.
What a great afternoon so far for this offense on 3rd down. The question I've got is, and I still wasn't able to see it, how was Peyton Higgins able to get that much separation? He was wide open.
The run up the middle, down to the 11-yard line. That's Williams again with the carry. That's his second of the day.
4-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 6 at the 11-yard line.
He hasn't had that kind of separation all day, and this Georgia State defense has done a really nice job of locking down Troy receivers at pivotal moments in the ballgame today. But P. Hig able to find some real estate there and turn this thing upfield, and Troy's in great position here to get some points.
2nd down. It's Williams again. Let's send it down to Rosie.
Yeah, guys, DJ Epps was in the medical tent, but he just walked out on his own accord. He was in there for about 3 minutes.
All right, appreciate the update, Rosie. Will Colmeyer alongside Ben Stanfield. Rosie Langello down on the sidelines. And, of course, this production is being led by our producer-director, Jackson Mercurio. It's 3rd down. Can the Trojans convert again on 3rd down? They've been dynamite today on that down. And Crowder rolling to his right, looking to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown, Troy! And look who caught it. DJ Epps was in the medical tent about 2 minutes ago. He comes out and he makes a key catch.
Cleared to play, clear for takeoff. 6 points for Epps. Through traffic there, too. Beautiful job by the quarterback. Here's another look at it. All right, Goose Crowder, he's got pressure coming from everywhere. Thought he was going to run the ball. Puts that thing up in the air between defenders, and Epps with a big-time grab. Nice work.
And how about Crowder getting hit in the chops as he released that ball? And a nice follow through, and now Scott Taylor Renfro has converted, and the Trojans have doubled up the Panthers now at 24-12.
Timeout.
So Crowder, 9 plays, 49 yards, the final 10, that touchdown toss to Epps. Kickoff straight ahead. here. I checked that junior from Russell County High School here in Alabama, DJ Epps. What a day he has had. 6 for 42 and that touchdown. He has really improved throughout the course of the season. Now the leading receiver on the team. This guy really was on the radar early in the season.
Yeah, shout out to Seal, Highway 431 right there through Russell County. And they've been on the rise the past couple of years as well, probably because of great players like Epps that have come out of that program.
McAteer. This one will be returned, a rarity. And great coverage by Troy as Georgia State cannot get it back to the 20. That was Washington on the return. Kyle Washington out of Chaminade Madonna Prep there in Hollywood, Florida. That was McNulty making the tackle. We've talked about him a bunch this year. He's one of the wide receivers, a redshirt freshman for Troy, Kai McNulty. He's made several plays. So here's Veer and what he's done here today. 9 of 14 for $150. And Jordan Simmons is his running back. The pass across the middle, and Riles wasn't even looking initially. And by the time he was looking, that pass was about 7 or 8 yards behind him.
Yeah, misfire, miscommunication, and
you see, yep, he says, my bad.
Yeah, Bayer's taking credit for that one too.
So Veer still in there after the injury to Cameron Brown back in the first half. Second and 10. Still plenty of time for the Panthers. Veer to the far side, incomplete. He got hit. Some pressure being applied. That was Jaquez White on the coverage. There is a flag.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense. Number 11. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic.
And that was on Elijah Davis, and I was wondering about that. Oh yeah, you can't go right to the face, the helmet.
Maybe some theatrics help sell it.
You think he's taking a couple theater classes over there? What I couldn't believe, how about more than 52,000 students go to Georgia State? It's the largest university in Georgia.
It's a big university right there in downtown Atlanta.
Hometown of TJ, my spotter here today, and that is a heck of a run there. Kept the legs churning all the way up to 43-yard line. Yeah, they were out in the mid-30s, and then Georgia Perimeter College consolidated with Georgia State to send it over 52,000 last year. Luke Hodge and Talik Robbins on that tackle.
Play their home football games at Old Turner Field.
Yeah.
It was home of the Braves and site of the 1996 Olympics. They've turned it into a very nice football stadium there.
Trivia, who was the first football coach
at
Georgia State?
11-18.
Bill Curry.
Correctamundo. Boy, they didn't even hesitate.
He
all
was
over that.
Former Crimson Tide football coach years ago as well. Yeah, Bill got this program off the ground, and he did a pretty nice job there to start things off with Georgia State as well.
Second and short. That's Simmons. He got popped by Sisvana, and a flag on the play. Donnie Smith was there as well.
This will be an interesting flag. I think it's a target.
I think it is too.
Line judge gave
the defense, number 14, using the crown of the helmet. 15 yards from the previous play. The previous play is on the video review.
And see, here's the problem. They've got everything on the line next week at Southern Miss. And if Savannah is ejected, he'll miss the first half next week.
I don't know that there was an intent there. Another look at it.
I don't know. He was leading with that crown.
Yeah, but on a situation like that where the man is running right at you, what are you supposed to do is the question I have.
Yep.
Are you supposed to stand up straight?
And get run over?
And get run over?
No, you're right. I agree.
Take a shot right through the head. I mean, you're taught your whole life to crouch.
Yes, and he was trying to go low,
yeah.
but then the run,
At the video review, there's no foul for targeting.
So they took it off.
Still in 1st and 10.
I think I'm in agreement that was not targeting there too. That was.
I'm with you.
It was. Now, in the first targeting call of the day,
Stringer.
yeah, I'm inclined to believe that one was accurate.
Yeah.
This one, though, I think is, he did what he had to do there, and we have to take that into account too.
Talked about Stringer not playing, and boy, what was Dante Wright, the DC, talking about? The bell cow of this team. So appreciative of what Jordan Stringer has done, and of course, Coach Parker was even talking about, Stringer and Luis Medina, bell cow as well on the defensive line. Here is Vair, pressure, so he's going to use his legs. He's got room on the far side. He had some space, and he's got a first down for the Panthers.
If Troy can hang on, that's a great run by Vair there too, who's showed us he's got a little bit of wheels this afternoon as well.
Yeah.
But for Stringer, the timing was actually kind of perfect for his targeting. He's going to sit this half. He won't have to sit next week.
No.
If the score holds, that's the Sun Belt West championship game against Southern Miss. So there is a positive silver lining there for the defense.
There's the pass completion to DJ Riles, and he's got another first down for Georgia State. Jaquez White on that tackle. And what about Dante Wright? Talking to us yesterday, he's a completely different player, and he's improved in so many areas, including his football IQ. Jaquez White.
Yeah, that's one thing you notice about Troy's defense is they do play smart football, and they handle adversity pretty well too. They got in some tight spots this year, but they've been able to clamp it down when they had to win some football games.
That defense makes a terrific play there. That was T.J. Thompson, the backup to Stringer. And but Wright did have, he said Coop gets a lot of the credit though, and Coop being Brandon Cooper, the cornerback coach here at Troy. There's Jordan Simmons, what he's done tonight, this afternoon / tonight, over 60 yards on the ground. Came in as the leading rusher. He had a 92-yard touchdown run on the first offensive snap last week against Marshall. This pass to the near side, it's caught, a spin and a touchdown for Javon Robinson. And Robinson has brought Georgia State back to within one score.
Boy, Robinson there with the move on Jaquez White, able to beat him to get into the end zone. Watch this. You just can't let that happen in that situation if you're Jaquez White. But a great move by Robinson to punch this thing in the end zone. It's just a pretty good ball game here down the stretch.
Yeah, we saw some fireworks in between the third and fourth quarter, and I was telling everyone I think we're going to have some fireworks here in the fourth quarter, and the extra point by Rickman. 24-19. How about Vair? Kind of like threw that one in a basket. Beautifully done.
Just a toss-up type pass, and his receiver Robinson able to catch it and make a pretty sweet move there. Breaks, turn, Atlanta traffic. He's used to it. Reservations for 6, please.
Game. Here's the touchdown pass again. Vaer to the go-to guy this afternoon, Javon Robinson. What a game he has had. You've got Javon Robinson at wide receiver, and we've seen Branson Robinson, no relation, make some plays at running back.
That's the hottest duo from downtown Atlanta these days right now, Vaer to Robinson.
Yeah, that was a sweet move. As we welcome you back to Veterans Memorial Stadium here, they call it the Vet. Here's McAllister. Kind of squibs this one, forces the return, and Epps breaks the tackle up to the 30-yard line. So first down and 10. Let's see what Crowder and the Trojans can do. What's been your headline so far, Ben?
Well, this is a tricky spot in this game because you're going to try to burn some clock here, but you really, you got to get points. The headline of the second half has been, Georgia State's kind of had some reasons to check out of this game a couple of times, and they have not. They've only gotten better and better. Vaer's played a great second half for this offense on Georgia State.
The game clock to 8:53. Thank you.
Really, the play of both quarterbacks in the second half has been pretty solid. So that's what I'm looking at the most. Both guys have taken some good shots this afternoon. Both guys have responded well in the ball game.
There's Meadows on first down. He's got 4 yards. Sets up 2nd and 6. That hit by Butler, the freshman, along with Robinson, that linebacker. Boy, he is so talented. Number 25, Josiah Robinson.
And that's the key there. Run on first down. You're at least going to burn 35, 40 seconds off the clock. If you do that, get this thing with the second down snap down into the 7-minute range, and you convert a first down, you kind of let the process repeat itself.
Crowder, play action. He's going far side. Got a man wide open. It's caught for a first down, and that's DJ Epps again. Yeah, first down, DJ.
Yeah, Epps, boy, this is turning into a career day for Epps, and another great reception there, wide open. He's got separation, and Troy going with tempo again. Might try to hit Epps one more time, see if he can catch that separation again.
1st and 10 at the 40. You notice Crowder has not been running on some scrambling and many carries here in the second half after being dinged up as much as he has. Rhodes Nelson on that tackle.
Well, and you don't want to, look ahead to what's not in front of you right now, but, you got more games to play.
And that one next week, no matter what.
Yeah.
And Southern Miss is down by 2 touchdowns with 2 minutes left at South Alabama. But even with that loss, Troy still has to beat Southern Miss next week because both teams would have 2 losses or 3 losses, and the tiebreaker would be head-to-head. There's a little bit of a gadget play. Check that. Both teams would have 2 losses, though.
Yeah, the end around there. It's about 5 yards there on first down. Got an injured player, looks like, for Troy on that far sideline, too. Somebody slow getting up.
Timeout.
Fillmore on that tackle on Trey Taylor.
One of the big guys got knocked out of bounds over there.
Tyler Cappy, who started at center today. Remember, he's been the backup center to the true freshman Paul Bowling. But Jared Parker said he spent more time than normal with the offense this week, trying to get this thing, navigate the issues. So Tyler Bell is going to come in, the 6'2", 305-pound sophomore from Memphis, Tennessee. And so there goes Cappy to the medical tent.
So that'll be a big watch here next couple plays, snapping the football.
3rd and 5. Troy has excelled on 3rd down tonight. And this time they're going to come up short. The pass is incomplete. Looking for Connor. That was Jordan Huff. That was one of your impact players at the top of the broadcast.
Boy, great defense by Georgia State. Troy, I think, is going to keep the offense on the field here. Kind of in that no man's land. It's a 48 48-yard field goal, maybe a 50-yarder at this point.
Yeah, it'd be about a 52-yarder. And that's beyond Scott Taylor Renfro's range, you would think. But McAteer, he did hit one from 53 against Texas State.
It could be done, yeah, but Troy feels comfortable going for it here on 4th down, 4th and 6.
Crowder caught. Epps breaks the tackle, has space to the pylon. Touchdown, Troy.
Epps again. Another guy having a career day. Boy, he and Ethan Connor have been dangerous for this Troy quarterback, Goose Crowder, today. Making big plays. Another one. That one may be the dagger there with 6.5 to go in the 4th quarter.
Look at how he tapped the brakes and changed direction, and he was heading toward that pylon, and now Scott Taylor Renfro. He'll sneak one in the right side. It's now a 12-point advantage again, thanks to DJ Epps. What a night this guy is having. In fact, he's hit the century mark in receiving yards. 2 of the 8 catches have gone for touchdowns.
Yeah, I want to see him pump those brakes one more time, Will. Let me show you this again. Makes the completion. Epps gets his gathering together and pumps the brakes, switches directions, and then he turns on the jets into the end zone for another touchdown for Epps. And, boy, he's having a great day. Averaging over 12 yards of reception. And that's the move. That's what the kids are doing these days.
Looks big like, on TikTok.
Yeah.
I understand.
That's what almost looks like he's saying something smells bad.
Yeah, exactly. Washington is back deep. A little form of jump around there on the Troy sideline, as this kick will be returned as well. This is Washington, knocked out of bounds at the 21. Looks like they might mark it at the 22-yard line, and that's where Vair will take over. That was Dunlap, Keon Dunlap on the tackle. Boy, I tell you what, Vair coming in for the injured Cameron Brown, and Brown, you know, he was a guy that came in and started, his first start was against the rivals Georgia Southern, and he threw for 280, had 29 completions, 5th best all time in school history, 76% passing that night, 7th best all time. He's had some bright moments, but the injury bug bites him again, and so it's up to Vair to try to rally Georgia State. 1st and 10, flags everywhere before the first snap.
False start, offense, number 52. 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
That was on the left guard, Donovan Funch. Not a lot of pre-snap penalties today. But, yeah, oh, you saw the reaction too.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to recall the pre-snap penalties. Georgia State's defense may have had more than the offense this evening.
So 1st and 15. Troy looks like they're rushing 4. Simmons is the running back. Play action. Vair through the air, caught. What a catch and concentration. That was by Jalen Marshall, his 2nd catch of the year. Lafayette upended him, and somehow he held on to it.
Just his poise. I'm so impressed by Vair's poise. He just is cool, calm, and collected. Doesn't feel nothing feels urgent in that backfield with him. Just like this is what he's supposed to be doing.
That pass a tad behind the tight end, in and out of the hands of Grant Hollier. And so Vair out of Ottawa, Ontario, 5th-year senior.
I think that kind of attitude resonates through the offense too. They feel that he's relaxed, they're relaxed, and they've had some really good drives in the second half today.
Running right up the gut is Simmons, banging his way just across the 45-yard line. Clock continues to run. That was Luke Hodge, the junior from Aniata. Every time I see Luke Hodge making a play, I think of that Clemson game where he ended up being the conference defensive player of the week. Made some big-time plays in the Trojans' near upset of Clemson. 3rd down and 5. Georgia State has not excelled on 3rd down for the most part today, and they're going to have 4th down coming up as that pocket got a little loud.
For intentional grounding. Number 13 was in the area.
And you talk about that Clemson game. Hey, you talk with Troy people about that game now, with what we know in approaching December. They want that game back because Troy was in the driver's seat in that game for a while. Some things didn't go their way with flags at one point in the game, and that kind of changed the momentum. But I think Troy'd like another shot at a team like Clemson this time of the year.
4th and 5. Down by 2 scores. They got to go for it, and the pass is in and out of the hands of the receiver. Devin Lafayette was there on the coverage. Elijah Davis providing the pressure. And it's a turnover on downs, and that is huge for Troy.
Yeah, great defense there. Almost an interception, but doesn't matter. Actually, better field position by letting it hit the turf in that scenario there. And Troy going to be running the football to try to close this thing out.
Stringer dancing on the sidelines. He's excited. Love it at running back. You see him right there, number 1. Last time we had the call, he had that huge game over 100 yards. I think that was against Louisiana. 1st and 10 now at the 46 of Georgia State, and Crowder play action, trying to look for the big chunk, and now he's going to scramble and run, and yes, wisely getting out of bounds. A flag, though, was one of the receivers holding on that far side to try to give him some extra space. I did not see a preliminary indication, but trying to get us informed.
Holding. Offense. Yep. Number 10. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay. 1st down.
Dale McGee was pretty hot about it on the other side of the field, too.
Well, he said number 10 did the holding, so that's obviously wasn't the case. That's Tucker Kilcrease. He is dinged up. It might have, was that on Connor 14? Yeah, Dale McGee was about to blow a gasket. Tay Meadows is in at running back, replacing Lovett. 1st and 20 now.
That would be Kilcrease's only stat of the day, as a phantom hold.
Man. 5 rushing touchdowns by Tucker Kilcrease. A 6th this year would make it the most by a Troy quarterback since 2012 when Deion Anthony had 8. Remember Deion Anthony?
Yeah, that's been a minute.
Josiah Robinson makes the play along with Kedrick Walker.
Timeout. Georgia State. 1st timeout of the 2nd half. 30 seconds.
So Georgia State calls a timeout with 4:31 left.
Clock to 4:38. Thank you.
And I just jumped a little ahead of Trennis. 4:38 now. It was 4:31. There you see Georgia State. They've got a little bit of Troy flavor in that on McGee's coaching staff. The DC, Pearson, was with Summerall here at Troy, and then their defensive line coach, Hawkins, he was at Troy back in 2009.
Part of that run of 5 straight Sun Belt championships.
Yeah, Jeremy Hawkins, the D-line coach. Travis Pearson, now the DC at Georgia State. All right, let's see what the play is called here out of the timeout. 2nd and 17 for Troy. Crowder staying in the pocket, looking for the deep ball on that left side, and it's overthrown. He was looking for Ra Thomas.
Crowder's pass is incomplete. Intended for number 7, Ra Thomas.
That was Deuce Fillmore on the coverage out of Biloxi, Mississippi. Played at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, played in that tough JUCO circuit there in Mississippi. 3rd and 17. Will they keep it on the ground and keep the clock running? Will they try to maybe get half the yards to set up something possibly? Go for it on 4th down. We'll see what Reagan calls. Oh, play action. Crowder in trouble, spinning away, and he's going to try to get out of bounds, but then he stopped. Oh, what a play by Crowder.
Nice job.
Yeah, stopped and let that clock run.
Stay in and keep it moving a little bit. I think Georgia
Timeout.
State.
Georgia State.
But I mean, I know what he's doing, and it's a smart play, but Crowder is, I mean, he's not even close to 100%. Oh, and there's that ankle. TJ, my spotter tonight, noticed that earlier in the game that he had both of his ankles taped for Crowder. So, but it is, I mean, what a trooper he is for Coach Parker and company to stay in bounds and force the timeout.
Yeah, keeping the tape industry in business.
Yeah, Bishop Thomas made that stop. He's a guy out of New Orleans, played at Florida State, then Colorado, now here at Georgia State. And here is Crenshaw. Back deep is Javon Robinson. Georgia State has not been able to do much on punt returns this year. Crenshaw on coils on that one. Will it find the end zone? No. It is, well, yep, it does trickle in. I thought for a moment that was Ben Stanfield, a little sand wedge coming in there on 17. Make that thing stop.
Yeah, on the driving range for sure. When it counts, though, definitely would blade that thing from here to Dothan.
How about that? You know, for the season, now Crenshaw with 50 punts. I mean, that's just his third touchback.
Curious to see what Hugh Jackson dials up here. You talk about this staff. He has some experience as an NFL head coach, Browns, Raiders.
Yeah.
Part of that Browns perfect team a couple of years ago. That's been about 10 years ago now, probably.
There. Looking for the long one on that far side. Incomplete. There was some contact in that whole Panther sidelines asking for a flag, but Levine will get
Dale McKee just ran a 40-yard dash to the official, and he's giving him an earful.
Let's look at it again. There was definitely contact, and it looked like Levine got there a little early.
I think you definitely could have called it there. It was interesting for sure. But Dale McGee, I mean, just full sprint downfield to get in the official's ear after that play.
You know, he spent almost his entire career, coaching career in Georgia. He's a Columbus, Georgia native. Just that 1 year, I think he was at Auburn. He was an assistant at Auburn for 1 year, maybe 2018.
Yeah, he was in Columbus at Carver High School, which is one of the better high school programs in the state of Georgia at their classification. And, well, he's got that recruiting pipeline, or had it when he was at Georgia, on lock.
How about that storyline, folks, if you saw that? 11 for 18 on third down for Troy, just one third down conversion until this pass by Vaere. And that was to Javon Robinson, and that's just their second third down conversion of the night.
Boy, and that one was huge, too. Clock keeps moving, so that is helping Troy a little bit. 3:42 at ticking. But Vaere, I mean, I'm just telling you, his calm demeanor helps his team in situations like this where they'll try to run a 2-minute drill and kick an onside kick and maybe do it again.
He's got 300 yards passing tonight. Crowder with 361. Georgia State has had more success running the ball than Troy tonight. There's a pass near side, incomplete, intended for number 82. That's the true freshman Kyle Washington, defended by Jaquez White. Could this have been defensive pass interference? He had a hold of him.
McGee wanted a flag again.
Yep.
On that play. That Georgia State sideline is erupting right now.
Yeah, there you see McGee. He is not a happy camper.
Not at all.
Second down and 10 at the 45-yard line. Troy with the blitz. Vaere in trouble. Now he'll just throw it away. So incomplete pass by Vaere. Big time hit by Jamal Williams.
wrapped him up at his ankles, took him to the turf.
You know, that defensive line there, Dante Wright was talking about the big personality on all that. That defensive line is full of personality. He said Williams is definitely a part of that.
He said you'll know they're cooking when they start rubbing their bellies, too. They get excited.
They're in trouble. He's got to scramble. Rolling to his right. He might have been across the line of scrimmage, but the pass is incomplete.
He was very close.
And so it will be 4th down. Yeah, of course, he talks about Donnie Smith all the time, and he just attracts so much attention. It's been huge because a lot of times he attracts that attention, so they got to double block him, and that leaves one-on-one opportunities to make plays for others. All right, here we go, 4th down. This is the ball game for Georgia State. If they can't convert, it'll be game, set, match for Troy. There, across the middle, incomplete. He was looking for his freshman tight end, Grant Hollier, and that should seal the deal with just under 3 minutes left in a 2-score game.
State's got 1 timeout. They'll get the 2-minute timeout. Question is, where do you take it? Do you take your timeout right here on the first play? Troy's probably going to run the football. Immediately take a timeout if I'm Del McGee. Let them run 2nd down before the 2-minute timeout, and then the 2-minute timeout would hit before 3rd down. There's a flag. What is this?
Illegal substitution, offense, 12 in formation. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, remains 1st down.
But I think that's the strategy there, and Georgia State still has to score 2 touchdowns, though, to get back in this thing.
The penalties have been a key this year for Troy. Just 5.5 penalties per game by the Trojans. That's the fewest in the Sun Belt. That penalty made it 1st and 15. Today, how many penalties, Ben?
5 for 55, ahead of.
Timeout. Georgia State, this is the 3rd and final timeout of the 2nd half. 30-second timeout.
Now that was the 5th penalty on Troy.
To 2:53.
Walker and Robinson share that tackle. So they're right on their average.
So that's exactly what that's the strategy there. Run a play, immediately call a timeout.
Yep.
No time ticked off the clock there. 2nd and 13. Troy's probably going to run the ball again.
You know, Jared Parker, Sean Reagan, they both talked about we have to run the ball. They didn't really run it that well today, 66 yards. You know, they've got 7 victories in the last 8 games, including all 4 this season when rushing for 100-plus yards. It's just still a little bit of a struggle for Jared Parker and company.
It almost felt like they didn't really ever commit to the run today. Now, I'm sure the defense showed them some stuff that helped them make that decision, but there were some decent runs early in the first quarter that didn't get a lot of extra looks.
And that'll set up 3rd down. And that was Butler on the tackle. Another one of those true freshmen. And Jabril Rhodes Nelson. 3rd and 13. Clock stops.
The officials blew it dead.
Please set the game clock to 2:40 And please start the game clock and the play clock when I line. Thank you.
Is that a storyline today? The game clock? We've had quite a few conversations with Trennis telling us.
Yeah, resetting it.
Resetting it, yep.
So it'll drop down to 2:07 before the snap. So Troy is going to have to snap it before the 2-minute timeout, which will then essentially set up a 4th down unless they got some sort of 3rd and 13 here to. I doubt they do anything tricky.
And it looks like they do have to snap it. There's about an 8-second differential.
Yeah, just punt the football away.
They'll snap it before the 2-minute, and then they'll get the 2-minute. timeout. And yes, they'll have to punt it away unless they can convert. 3rd and 13. Nice and conservative. Not trying to make a silly mistake. And that's Rhodes Nelson again making the stop. Well, he's been very active in that defensive end position.
Timeout.
Had only 1 tackle last week. That has been far from the case here tonight. And here is our 2-minute timeout. Celebrating Epps, Stringer, and Connor. Trojans by 12. Troy, 2 minutes left. It's a simple equation. Troy can clinch a spot in the Sun Belt Conference Championship game with a win next week in Hattiesburg against Southern Miss. And then that would mean that you would be facing the Dukes from JMU in the championship game in 2 weeks.
Boy, that's going to be a tough outing for anybody.
Oh, yeah. There's no question. I mean,
that team's playing great ball up there right now.
I think they've won 8 in a row coming into this weekend. And Jared Parker with a $1.54 left. Of course, he knows his team is already bowl bound, but the more wins, obviously, you kind of get the better bowl.
Yeah, you knock up the rankings a little bit, and you know, maybe a return trip to New Orleans could be at stake. And there's a lot on the table for this team, including a championship ring, the possibility of that as well.
Ted Hurst is in the game. There. No, check that. He's got his helmet off. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought for a moment that he came back in. That would have been a story.
There's got to be something to that worth checking on in the next week or so with this program. See what
that pass deflected. Levine was right there. Donnie Smith providing the pressure. 6 games with a sack by Donnie Smith is tied for the 5th most in the country. He's tied for 7th nationally with a half of a tackle for a loss in 8 different games. What a year he is having. The junior out of Greenville, Mississippi, the transfer from East Central Community College. And there is Levine. He's the transfer from Missouri State. Third and long. The pass is caught by Hollier. He's had a nice game. The true freshman tight end, Jaquez White and Devin Lafayette share that tackle.
Yeah, big guy there, tight end too. And like you mentioned, he has had a nice game. 6'2", 230. He's out of Woodstock, Georgia.
They're getting pressured. The pass is caught. Wow, what a catch. Donnie Smith again providing the pressure.
Really long if it was a catch at the sideline, and it went out of bounds.
I think that was by Kieron Milton, the catch. Boy, Donnie Smith is just such a problem for offenses.
Yeah, there were Cardinal jerseys everywhere in that backfield, and nice pitch, nice catch. Georgia State lives on.
The dump pass to Jordan Simmons. And Simmons, who was an Akron Zip, now a Panther from Georgia State, makes the catch. Hodge and White share the tackle, but that's another first down for Georgia State. The clock now running, now under a minute left. And the snap is fumbled, and then did he get it past the line of scrimmage? I think he did, so it won't be a grounding. Boy, you talked about his composure. Donnie Smith again, that's pressures on 3 straight plays, I know.
Yeah, just his ability to just hurl that thing out of bounds like that. Nice job by Veyer, and again, just a composed guy. I think he got to take a shot at the end zone here, this play or the next one.
Yeah. Boy, Donnie Smith, he leads the Sun Belt with 7 sacks. It'd be the second time in the last 3 years a Trojan has led the league in sacks. Remember Javon Holloman, that year he had a couple years ago. He had 16. That pass is caught and a first down. Hodge makes the tackle. That's Derek Avery Jr. Yet another true freshman for Georgia State from Alpharetta, Georgia.
No end zone shot, but they split the difference, and Veyer, the ever comfortable quarterback, is going to get another shot out of here.
He's thrown for 343. That'll add some more yards on to that number as Simmons has the first down inside the red zone. Sisvana and Hodge stop him. The chains will move, and we'll start the clock in just a moment. 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
And a whistle.
They clock the football. Smart play here. I mean, the way that Georgia State is handling this situation, I think, is about as good as you can do, minus the maybe early use of timeouts in the game. But, you can't do anything about that at this point, and got to do what you got to do earlier in the quarters. But 30 seconds to go here. If you can score on this play or maybe the next one, onside kick, things are in business.
There to the end zone, and incomplete. Avery was open. He had broken free. And look at that. Gets the football, tosses it back to the official.
That was the opportunity right there.
Yeah, he was open too.
I think if he hauls that one in, and I mean, that was very catchable football. Wider, you're not going to get more wide open than that, but that would have set this team up really nice for an onside kick and potential Sports Center highlights to follow.
Yes, pre-snap penalty.
False start, offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down. Please set the game clock to 24 seconds. Thank you.
Jaquez White has had a nice night. He's averaging over 1 passes defended per game. That's the 3rd most in the Sun Belt. 1.1 is the average, 21st most in the country. His 9 pass breakups coming in, tied for 14th most in the country. This guy was playing D2 football last year at Washburn. And that transition he's made look very
yeah,
easy.
Very, very easy.
3rd down, 15 yards to go at the 22. Troy will rush 4. Veer got hit right when he threw it, and it was dropped. It looked like the receiver had it, and he dropped it. That was Robinson. DJ Jackson Jr. applied the hit on Veer. Was that deflected by a DB, or was that dropped by Robinson?
I think it was deflected. Here's another look at it. Just barely.
Maybe, yeah, fingertip by Lafayette, but it definitely went in and out of the hands.
That's 2
of
though
Robinson.
that could have easily been touchdowns for Georgia State.
Here it is, 4th down, and Veer's pass is caught, but it's not going to be enough for a 1st down. Nope, check that. No, yeah, not enough. So a turnover on downs. Georgia State's offense was staying out there, and all of a sudden I was like, wait a second here.
A lot of people were confused there for a second.
And they confused me.
Troy's going to nail this one down and have a chance for a championship berth next week at Southern Miss. And this is a big-time win for this program. And you're talking about where Troy was last year, and now Jared Parker and company have them in contention to get into the Sun Belt Championship game in the last week of the season. Big, big, big strides for Troy football.
That takes the knee, and that should do it. And Troy can clinch a spot in the Sun Belt Championship game with a win next week in Hattiesburg against Southern Miss as they take care of business tonight, winning by 12. And Troy now has won 8 of its last 11 Sun Belt Conference games and 10 of its last 15. And Rosie has Coach Parker.
Coach, congrats on the win. Over 350 passing yards and 4 touchdowns for Goose today. What did you think of his performance?
Well, I'm really proud of him, but the collective effort by staff, our group of guys on the perimeter, protection. I mean, there was a lot that we talked about before this game about what we need to do to improve and take a step on offense. There was a lot of work that went into that by players and staff, so really happy for all of them.
24 seniors honored today on Senior Day. What do you think this win meant to them?
Well, I hope it meant what I felt before the game. That's the most emotional I've been around our team. I about lost it before the game. 24 great young men that I'm glad we got to send them out of the stadium the right way.
You guys handled today. You have Southern Miss next week on the road. Win that game, and you're in the Sun Belt Championship. What will be the message to the team this week?
Well, everything it's been all year. Process, but they know. They know what time it is now, and I hope they have the same gratitude that I do, that we've gotten this thing to a point in year 2 that we're playing a championship football game, the last game of the year. That's what we wanted at the beginning of the year.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, congratulations, Coach. Thank you, Rosie, and I think he's got Goose Crowder. Yep.
Hey, Goose, 4 touchdown passes today. You played in the entire game. How did it feel to be back out there?
It felt great. It takes everybody as an all around as an offense. O-line did great blocking, and backs, tight ends, receivers made plays when I went to them. Proud of them. Glad we got the win, but I can play better, and I know we can as an offense, so left a lot out there on the table. Excited to get back to work next day.
What was it like to win for these seniors today?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, these guys are some of my best friends in the world. Just sending them off the right way their last home game is the world to me personally.
Next week, you're on the road at Southern Miss. Win that game, and you're in the Sun Belt Championship. What does Troy need to do to win that game?
Yeah, we just got to get back to we got to go back. We got to watch this tape Sunday and Monday and learn from it. And just get back and have a great week of practice and put ourselves in the best position possible to go out there and succeed on Saturday.
Goose, thanks. Congratulations. Thank you.
All right, good work, Rosie. Appreciate it. And congrats to Goose Crowder and company as they take care of business against Georgia State. And with that, let's put this broadcast to bed. So, for my partner, Ben Stanfield up top, and of course, Rosie Langello down on the field, and our outstanding crew, I'm Will Kohlmeyer saying so long from Troy. Once again, the final score, Troy wins on Senior Day, 31-19 over Georgia State. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. And don't forget, you can always watch the replay as these events are archived on Watch ESPN. Next week, it's going to be for all the marbles in the Sun Belt West. It's Troy at Southern Miss. That game will also be on ESPN+. But until then, we appreciate you watching. And enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks. I'm thinking the Troy Trojans will, as they are back on the winning track and snapping a 2-game losing skid with today's 12-point victory.